Honorable Chief Guest Dr. Dinesh, Vice Chancellor JC Bose University of Science and Technology YMCA Faridabad. Guest of Honor Professor A.K. Saini, Vice President President-elect Computer Society of India, Mumbai. Guest of Honor Professor J.W. Bakal, President Institute of Electronics and Telecommunication Engineers, IETE, New Delhi. Professor M.N. Hoda, Director BVICAM, New Delhi. Dr. Vishal Jain, Organizing Coordinator FDP. Organizing theme of this FDP, eminent speakers, various executive committee members of various professional bodies, and participants. I am happy to note that we have participants from all over India today. It is my pleasure to welcome you all to 1 week FTP on the topics of emerging technologies for education and research in computer science and IT, technically co-sponsored by IEEE Delhi section. It is an opportunity for me to share the information and the achievements of IEEE Delhi section today. At the moment, IEEE Delhi section is a flourishing community of more than 4,000 active members, 19 chapters, society chapters, 4 affinity groups, 112 student branches, and around 35 student branch chapters. We introduced 3 new chapters in the year 2019, IEEE ITSS Delhi chapter, Photonics Society chapter in Rajasthan, and Antenna and Propagation chapter in Jaipur. This year, to weave a stronger network between industry and academia, we introduced 2 new student branches at NIT Delhi and IIIT Delhi, and 2 new branch chapters in Jamia Millia Islamia, University of IAS, and a student branch chapter in Maharaja Agrasen Institute of Technology under IEEE Delhi section. I would also like to highlight the success this year in terms of activities and recognition. Around 40 professional members were elevated to senior member grade last year. Delhi section has organized a number of activities jointly with other professional societies like Institute of Engineers, ISTE, and IET. Our volunteers took active participation in activities organized by Region 10, Asia Pacific Region, and India Council. As a result, the section has been awarded 2 flagship events of India Council. A conference Indicon 2020 to be held between 11 to 13 December 2020 in Netaji Subhash University of Technology, Dwarka, and All India Student Women in Engineering Young Professional Life Members Congress 2020 to be held in Chitkara University in Chandigarh in the month of December. We have successfully organized Delhi Student Congress for Rajasthan and Chandigarh subsections for students in the pandemic period, and women in engineering and our young professionals also organize many activities. Section has received membership retention award consecutively for the last three years. With so many awards to earn it, as I look at IEEE Delhi section as a very promising team of professional minds. Now, coming to this FDP, with high hopes, I wish every participant here to get benefits of knowledge disseminated by eminent speakers through this continuous flowing stream created by this team of Professor Hoda. In the end, I congratulate Professor M.N. Hoda and his team for successfully conducting this 6th FDP. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for enlightening us. Now I request to our guest of honor, Professor A.K. Saini, sir, Vice President, President-elect, Computer Society of India, Mumbai, to enlighten us. Sir, please.
ठीक है, साउंड अभी भी क्लियर नहीं है. अच्छा, यहाँ से ऑफ. एक मिनट हो जाएगा. हेलो,
Professor Saini, can you hear us?
Yes, sir.
साउंड कहाँ?
Yes, sir.
Please.
यहाँ से मेरा तो ऑफ ही रहना चाहिए, म्यूट ही रहना चाहिए.
Now you have been invited to speak, sir.
ए जो आ रहा है उसको दबा दे क्या?
Yes, sir.
नीचे तो आ रहा है सब.
Professor A.K. Saini, sir, you have been invited to speak.
Okay. Sorry, because I got disconnected in between.
होडा आगे
Yeah, I was saying.
अभी देखते हैं.
Yeah, I think honorable guest on the dais, Professor Dinesh, my friend and my mentor and my all in this panel discussion, my friends Dr. Bakal, Dr. Hoda, and
क्या बात है? I think I'll be able to handle it. अच्छा मैं इसमें यूज नहीं करती अपना.
Sir, I think there is some network
ये जो
disconnection.
ऊपर जो A आ रहा है उसका क्या मतलब है?
If it is so, we may invite Dr. Bakal first.
Yes, sir.
Meanwhile,
ऊपर
let me
A
bring
आ रहा है
Yes.
उसको
member
क्लिक कर
issue.
दें
I
क्या?
think his video may not come, only he has to come on audio.
Now, AK Saini sir will join us very soon. There is some network issue. So now I request to
हाँ
guest our
असाइनमेंट
guest
तो
of
दिखाई
honor,
नहीं दे रहा है.
Professor J.W. Bakal sir, President IETE New Delhi, to address the gathering and share few words.
हाँ
Sir,
ये आ
please.
रहा है. हाँ बिल्कुल.
Good morning, one and all. Chief guest of the function, Dr. Dinesh Kumar ji, Vice Chancellor of JC Bose, Faridabad University, which is for science and technology. The coordinator of FDP, 2 weeks FDP on emerging technologies for education and research in computer science and IT, Mr. Vishal Jain. Then Professor Prema Gaur, Chairperson, IEEE Delhi Section. Professor A.K. Saini, Vice President and President-elect for CSI Mumbai. Professor M.N. Hoda, friend of mine and Director of this institution. Then I think another guest of honor, Durga, like Director of Triple IT, Saripat. Now this series of FDP, what actually Hoda sir has planned, and I think this is consecutive third FDP I am witnessing. Good actually, like in this pandemic situation, would have been physical mode very difficult to conduct, like organizing people coming together and their logistic and all these things. It become very hectic. But here it is now. Next is also, I think it is ready for show. So this basically we are like together, myself and Hoda Sor, as a, like I was ex Bharati Vidyapit, and from that, like we are family members, and then together we work in ITE, and very soon he will be once again joint family of ITE in the month of September. Now, having strength of IET, we have 4 journals of repute. One is like Journal of Education, Journal of Research, where the last month only got like a very good impact factor. And the beauty of student journal is, like in other cases, if you publish your paper, there will be charge for some whatever page by charge will be we have to pay. Only IET, wherein student, suppose he gives the article, he will be paid by the IET. This is what actually IET fulfill the the punchline of ours, uh, connecting people together, and that too, like those who are far flung. We are in the work job now, like though we have 63 centers, and though we say like this is IET India, but we have our footprint at Kathmandu and one at Australia. So these all professionals, including student and ISF, we have a very good strength of 163 members, and we have 2 like flagship programs, which one is like in, we say AIC. This is annual IET conventions happen generally in last week of September, and one is midterm symposium which happened in the month of April. This year, April MTS we could not do in like a physical mode, though it was planned in Impal, but we could manage to have on due to this pandemic situation, we have arranged online. It was very successful. Even our governing council meeting, we organized online in the month of May. and that too very successful. Like we start in the morning 10 o'clock and it is end up by 9 o'clock in the evening. Such a huge different uh, people take part and they give their inputs. Now this 2 weeks FDP, which is actually on the education and research. Research is very important component now. Would have been not done any research by telecom community. So what way we are now getting connected in this pandemic situation also would have been very difficult. This FDP will definitely help the teacher who are in the field. Now, as I've always mentioned, like it is very difficult to train the trainers. Trainers always say why I should be in part of this. I am already like having knowledge. I am boss and all these things. So after I think hearing experts from industry and academia of very well reputed university institutes, so they will be definitely getting something. And in turn, this is the only field wherein if you take the commercial aspect, if I'm paying you 50,000, so I'll be minus by 50,000. The only education, if I'm sharing some knowledge with you, so I'm gaining some knowledge. With this quote, I wish all the best to the organizer and in particular Hoda sir to have like a successful this series also. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir, for your enlightening us. Now, I would like to invite Professor M. N. Hoda, sir, Director BVAKM New Delhi, for background note of this FDP. Sir, please.
Good morning to every one of you. Honorable Chief Guest of today's inaugural function for this Faculty Development Program, Dr. Dinesh Kumar, sir, the Vice Chancellor of J.C. Bose University of Science and Technology, YMCA Faridabad, the Honorable President of today's inaugural session, Professor M.N. Doja, sir, Director, Indian Institute of Information Technology, Sonipat, Haryana, my friends from all the three premier professional societies of the country, Professor J.W. Bakal, the National President, IET, Professor A.K. Sani, the Vice President cum President-elect, Computer Society of India, and Professor Prayer Nagor, the Chairperson of IEEE Delhi section. It's my proud privilege to welcome you all. I take this opportunity to welcome all the participants who almost all parts of the country. You name a state and we have a participant from that state have joined to this FDP program, despite the challenges which they have at their place. So welcome you all. In the beginning, let me tell you why we thought during pandemic. This is the 6th FDP which we are inaugurating today. 3 FDPs of 1 week duration and 2 FDPs of 2 week durations, means in total 5 FDPs have already been conducted in last almost 2.5 months. This is the 6th FDP of 2 week duration which we are inaugurating today. Why we decided to conduct FDP? We decided that if the way Corona has disrupted everything, Corona didn't allow the normal routine process to continue. So how to ensure that the normal routine process should continue? So we decided that let's ensure that the fellow professionals from different parts of the country, fellow professionals from different walks of the life are active in learning, and the learning must continue despite all kind of disruptions. And that's how we started this, and that's how a great poet has said, "Ujale apni aankhon mein mahfouz kar lo." Sorry, the great poet has said that आशियाने से बढ़कर है फिक्रे चमन, आशियाने से बढ़कर है फिक्रे चमन, हम घर में बंद होके अपने घर की फिक्र करते, अपनी फिक्र करते, शायद ये बहुत आसान था हमारे लिए, लेकिन जो फेलो प्रोफेशनल्स हैं, जो हमारी एकेडमिक कम्युनिटी है, हम जिस सोसाइटी को बिलोंग करते हैं, उनकी फिक्र कौन करेगा? उनके लिए भी हमें ही काम करना पड़ेगा, और उनके लिए और अपने लिए सबके लिए लर्निंग कंटिन्यू रखनी पड़ेगी। तो पोएट कहता है कि आशियाने से बढ़कर है फिक्रे चमन, आशियाना तो फिर बना लेंगे, आशियाने से बढ़कर है फिक्रे चमन, आशियाना तो फिर बना लेंगे हम, एक उम्मीद की लौ सलामत रहे, 100 दिए इस दिए से जला लेंगे हम। ये रे ऑफ होप ये जो हम जगाने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं, ये बैकग्राउंड है इस एफडीपी का, जिसकी वजह से हम एफडीपी आफ्टर एफडीपी पूरी सीरीज इन कोलैबोरेशन विद IEEE, IET, CSI and all other professional societies available in the country, we are organizing. I will come back to the theme of the FDP maybe in 2-3 minutes later, but let me tell you that Dr. Bakal sir was telling that we decided thinking we are boss on this earth. That's where is the problem, sir. That all of us started thinking that because of technological innovations, because of all kind of facilities available to us, because of scientific creativity and the kind of upliftment which we keep on doing, we started thinking, yes, we are boss on earth, but this corona pandemic has told us, no, we are not boss. There is some other force, there is some almighty who is the boss, we are not boss. And that's how the great poet for this situation only has said, very nicely he has simulated the situation, कि कुदरत तेरा रूठना भी जरूरी था, कुदरत तेरा रूठना भी जरूरी था, इंसान का घमंड टूटना भी जरूरी था, हर कोई खुद को जमीन पे खुदा समझ बैठा था, हर कोई खुद को जमीन पे खुदा समझ बैठा था, इंसान का ये भरम टूटना भी जरूरी था. So we are not boss, boss is someone else. One small, that too invisible infection has put the entire world on halt. Entire normal life has been disrupted. That is the kind of situation. So friends, all of us are technocrat. All of us are working in the domain of computer science. All of us are doing research and doing some creativity. We have to keep in mind that we have to make a proper balance with the natural system and ensure that our research must be sustainable in the manner that we must leave resources for our generations to come. Generations to come who should not be cursing on us that we have consumed everything. And that's how nature has started taking corrective actions. Now see the environment so clean, nice. Now see the almost lakhs of crore have been spent on some such projects, could not get the result in just corona. Disruption has given all those results and much better results. That's the kind of balance which nature has created, and that's how this new world order is coming up. And this world order says कि हमें सारा काम समझ के करना है. बशीर बद्र का एक शेर है जो 45 years ago कहा गया था, किसी और कॉन्टेक्स्ट में कहा गया, कुछ और चेंजिंग इकोसिस्टम के लिए कहा गया, बट वो आज बहुत ही वैलिड है. उन्होंने कहा कि कोई हाथ भी न मिलाएगा जो गले मिलोगे तपाक से, ये नए मिजाज का शहर है, जरा फासले से मिला करो. Friends, all of us are meeting, all of us are continuing our learning, all of us are joining to each other, but we are meeting at distance. We are meeting in a virtual mode. Having said that, let me again sensitize that what the changes are coming. To me, I have always advocated that there is nothing constant in this world except change. Change is the only constant phenomena, and if we do not accept changes upfront, or if we do not change ourselves upfront, the market forces, the competitions in and around us, the changing ecosystem in and around us changes. And that is the situation which becomes very difficult. If I ask you that how many of you have Nokia feature phone now? Hardly 90% plus people will say no. Had I asked this question 15 years ago for such kind of audience, 90% plus people would have replied yes. Where went Nokia wrong? Where went Nokia wrong? What Nokia could not do? Nokia only misunderstood the philosophy of the change. Nokia didn't read the writing on the wall. Nokia didn't realize that despite the robustness of the product, despite the customer penetration and huge customer loyalty with the product, if they are not going to accept the change, possibly the customer will change them. And that's how has happened. And now Nokia has got almost all products under the product profiling. But can they get that share which they had at that moment? No, that's not possible. So the time of change is very important. What I wanted to tell, that the time of change is very important. If you change well in time, you will be leaders. And if you change a little later, or because of the competition, because of the compulsions, then you will remain follower. So we must aspire to remain leaders. We must aspire to be proactive in accepting the changes. And for that, we first change ourselves. We first change myself, ourselves. That's how it is that इंसान घर बदलता है, लिबास बदलता है, रिश्ते बदलता है, दोस्त बदलता है. हम सब कुछ बदलते हैं और बदलते आ रहे हैं. हम शायद एहसास नहीं करते, या हम सोचते नहीं इस बात को, या इंट्रोस्पेक्ट नहीं करते। आप देखिए, इंसान घर बदलता है, लिबास बदलता है, रिश्ते बदलता है, दोस्त बदलता है, फिर भी परेशान क्यों रहता है? क्योंकि हम खुद को नहीं बदलते। और खुद को बदलने की सबसे बड़ी एग्जांपल ये है, and I am happy to share with you that the entire world who was telling that Indians are too rigid. No, my friends, Indians are not rigid. This corona disruption has proven to the world that Indians are highly agile, Indians are highly proactive in adapting to the changes. If I ask to all of you that how many of you are using this kind of meeting platform, Cisco, WebEx, Zoom, GoToMeet, Google Meet, etc., etc., possibly again 90% of the people will say no. But maybe within a week period, despite the fact that the ecosystem in our country was not available, despite the fact that we were not accustomed to continue learning in a digital mode like many of the European and American countries where they were doing earlier, despite the fact that we were very comfortable and user friendly with the face-to-face model of learning, within a week time we changed. And that is the beauty of this agility, that the moment there is a need, immediately we change it. What I wanted to give you a message, that let's not wait for the compulsion, let's not wait for the need to come, let's change proactively. And that's how we have to change ourselves for this. We have shown that result, and we have to continuously and in a sustainable manner continue this. And that's how a great poet, Ghalib, from the same capital of the country, Delhi, has given this message that उम्र भर गालिब यही भूल करता रहा, उम्र भर गालिब यही भूल करता रहा, धूल चेहरे पे थी और मैं आईना साफ करता रहा। हम ये कहेंगे कि कोरोना डिसरप्शन आ गया, अब पढ़ाई लिखाई नहीं हो सकती, बच्चे क्लासरूम में नहीं आ सकते, अब वो 100, 200, 500 लोगों का फंक्शन क्लासरूम में, ऑडिटोरियम में बुला के या बड़ा टेंट पिंडॉल लगा के कॉलेज के कैंपस में नहीं किया जा सकता। ये एक्सक्यूज नहीं हो सकता है। हमें चेंजिंग इकोसिस्टम की टेक्नोलॉजी ढूंढनी पड़ेगी। हमें ये देखना पड़ेगा कि चेंजिंग इकोसिस्टम में कौन सी टेक्नोलॉजी है जो इस प्रोसेस को कंटिन्यू किया जाए। जैसे मैंने कहा, नोकिया फीचर फोन हुआ करता था, अब नोकिया फीचर फोन ब्राइट नहीं है। तो फेस टू फेस मॉडल टीचिंग लर्निंग हुआ करता था, सेंचुरी ओल्ड मॉडल, अब वो फेस टू फेस टीचिंग लर्निंग मॉडल ब्राइट नहीं है। हमें ब्लेंडेड मोड ऑफ लर्निंग की तरफ जाना पड़ेगा। जितनी चीजें whatever is possible in the domain of online and digital learning, we have to switch to online and digital learning. And wherever we feel difficulty, wherever we feel kind of obstacle for that kind of components of the learning process, we may have some face-to-face session, and that too with maintenance of social distancing. वो कहा ना, कोई हाथ भी ना मिलाएगा जो गले मिलोगे तपाक से, ये नए मिजाज का शहर है, जरा फासले से मिला करो। वैसे भी बीटेक के लोग 20-20 बच्चे का प्रैक्टिकल कराया करते थे, अब वो 20 बच्चे आएंगे लैब करके, कुछ हार्डकोर लैबोरेटरी जो ऑनलाइन नहीं हो सकती, जो वर्चुअल लैबोरेटरी के मॉडल में नहीं हो सकती, जो क्लाउड के थ्रू नहीं हो सकती, उसके लिए वो बच्चे आएंगे कॉलेज में 20-20 के ग्रुप में और अपना प्रैक्टिकल करके जाएंगे। What was happening, that everything and anything was being done in physical mode, and Bloom taxonomy आप सारे लोग फैमिलियर होंगे। जो पहला 3 लेवल है ब्लूम टैक्सोनॉमी का, वो हम भूल गए थे कि पहला 3 लेवल तो एक्सपोजर का है, नीचे का पहला 3 लेवल तो सेंसिटाइजेशन का है। और अगर हम इसी 3 लेवल पे बिजी रहे तो ऊपर के जो 3 लेवल हैं, हम पूरा 4 साल का कोर्स कंप्लीट कर चुकेंगे, लेकिन ऊपर के 3 लेवल को हम पढ़ा ही नहीं पाएंगे, हम एनालिसिस पढ़ा नहीं पाएंगे, हम डिजाइन पढ़ा नहीं पाएंगे। सो ब्लेंडेड मोड ऑफ लर्निंग ये कहता है कि पहला 3 नहीं, नीचे के 4 लेवल ब्लूम टैक्सोनॉमी का आप ऑनलाइन मोड में करें, और ऊपर का 2 लेवल जो हमारे पास ब्लूम टैक्सोनॉमी का बचा है, वो हम फेस टू फेस मोड में करने का रास्ता विथ फॉलोइंग फिजिकल डिस्टेंसिंग वी कैन इंश्योर। एंड ऊपर के 2 लेवल आपको पता है, क्रिएट है एंड इवैल्यूएट है। इवन एनालिसिस कैन बी डन विद द हेल्प ऑफ डिजिटल लर्निंग। that kind of ecosystem we are expecting under the Bloom learning, and that's how a new concept is coming up in a big way. Can we have a learning in a flipped classroom model? What is the flipped classroom model? The same model where the first 4 level of the Bloom taxonomy has to be in online mode, and the top 2 level, that is the create and create and evaluate, will be basically in the face-to-face learning. That kind of model we have to find, and unless we find that model, possibly sustainability in future will be a big problem. Friends, We are in a pure digital age, and pure digital age with Industry 4.0. Many of you must be aware, and there is no time, so I will not go in the background of Industry 1.0, 2.0, and 3.0, but rather will straight away give you the differentiation between Industry 3.0 and Industry 4.0. Industry 3.0, where IT-enabled world, we claim that it's an IT-enabled world, but the IT used to revolve around the business process. Business process was not important. We used to think, if I am going to do this, will technology support me? Will technology come to my rescue? That was the kind of question in the Industry 3.0. Business process remained same, but the technology used to revolve around the business process. Now we are in Industry 4.0, and under the backdrop of the Industry 4.0, business process is ever changing. बिजनेस प्रोसेस री इंजीनियरिंग हम सारे लोग पढ़ाते हैं क्लासरूम में, मैनेजमेंट को लोग भी पढ़ाते हैं, कंप्यूटर साइंस वाले भी पढ़ाते हैं, इंजीनियरिंग के लोग भी पढ़ाते हैं. बिजनेस प्रोसेस हमारा बदलता है और कंटिन्यूअसली बदल रहा. मेरी टेक्नोलॉजी हर चेंजिंग बिजनेस प्रोसेस को सपोर्ट करने के लिए अपने आप होगी. Now the technology is changing, and the technology is supporting, and the business process is changing. That is what is the Industry 4.0. And when I'm talking of this, big examples like Paytm, like Ola, like Uber, so many examples. Even this digital meet is a change in business process. We didn't have this business process earlier. Now it is a complete change in the business process, that it is an online learning which is happening. No more the physical learning, no more the face-to-face learning. And under this environment of Industry 4.0, when it has disrupted almost every conceivable area of business in our day-to-day life, education, friend, is no exception, and it is going to disrupt education with the education in a much bigger way. So in order to stop it, or in order to derive the present environment in maximum possible way, we have to understand that we have to believe in education 4.0. And when we are believing in education 4.0, then only it will be possible that we are going to drive the maximum benefit out of the education 4.0. What is education 4.0? You can Google it and find education 4.0. In next 2 minutes, I will give you a little glimpse of education 4.0. And this all transformation under the backdrop of Industry 4.0 with the help of education 4.0, which is happening, is just the beginning of the major transformation to happen in the entire teaching learning system. Friends, gone are those old days when teachers will keep on forcing students to maintain 75% attendance in physical classroom, making students to follow him or her desperately from some small pieces of notes, which might be 10 years or 20 years old, asking students forcibly to join all the activities irrespective of his or her interest or choice, will now be the good stories of the past. That in education 4.0, these will not be the relevant processes. Under the changing ecosystem, education process will have to be done in flexible manner, as flexible as possible, to meet the customized needs of the student, every learner. Why a student? A student terminology has gone. Now the terminology of learner has come. I'm also a learner as a teacher. My students are also a learner. So for every learner, we have to customize the learning mechanism. We have to customize the curriculum. Future teachers will may assume the role of facilitator, coordinator, moderator, supervisor, guide, but cannot afford to remain simply a tutor. That role the Google Baba and the technology will be doing. So we have to inspire our learners. We have to ensure that we make, as a teacher, we inspire to the extent, we facilitate to the extent that every learner becomes a self-reliant learner. And unless he becomes a self-reliant learner, his survival in the changing ecosystem will become difficult. Teaching learning process will have to be designed in such a way that students are active learners and teachers are just facilitators. Existing practices of the teachers designing the course curriculum, giving 40 courses, maybe around 200 credits to a BTech, 4-year BTech program, will be things of past. It might be possible that a student will come to me in first year and will tell, sir, I want a flexible and modular system. You have on your website, I have seen that there are 40 programs with some additional laboratory, and 200 credits you are offering for BTech courses under 3 basket. But I'm sorry to tell you that for 100 credits I will be studying at your institution, but for remaining 100 other credits in order to acquire my BTech degree, I've already identified 3 other universities, because those courses you are not offering. And then possibly, if we are not in a position to offer that kind of flexibility, and if we do not allow that kind of credit transfer, if we do not allow the mobility of a student from one institution to another institution, we will come across a situation, we will come across a kind of environment where few universities will be overcrowded with students, and our university, my institution, will have no student. The way it happened in a shopping mall, that in 2-3 mart, you see customers are overcrowded. The mall is mart is overcrowded with the customer, but for many of the mart, there is no customer. That kind of situation is going to happen. So we have to ensure the kind of facility which, in case of mobile service provider, they have started mobile number portability. In the same way, mobility of students, portability of a student from one institution to another institution, credit transfer from one place to another place, and it might possible that a student might study first semester at my institution, second semester at some another institution, third semester at some another institution, will make payment of fees to that institution, not to my institution. And then maybe in 4th year may come back to the home station and say that now the papers available in the 4th year is quite comfortable to me. I am quite okay with it. So I will study 4th year at your institution. That kind of mobility, that kind of flexibility, the in education 4.0 is going to be made available. And next important transformation which is going to come up, particularly under education 4.0, is a complete overhaul of examination system. All teachers who are here, if we do not accept this, possibly will be left too behind. And under complete overhaul, one example I am giving you, what at this moment happened, that our examination department or controller of examination declares a schedule, and irrespective of the fact, all students need to appear for examination according to that schedule. If students put forward the grievances, past towards sometime we conduct a supplementary exam, that too many of the universities are not conducting supplementary. These practices will be the good stories of past. The coming environment, the UGC has already started working on that, because many of the developed nations in the world have started floating demand-driven examination. Now I will float 10 schedule. Instead of one schedule, I will float 10 schedule. Students may opt any one of the schedule. In this FDP, for the assessment and evaluation purpose also, we are applying that demand-driven examination. We are applying that examination system where the learners will have a flexibility to choose what time, which day, which test they have to appear and which they don't want to appear. So that much flexibility. Out of 4 such schedules which we announced, only one is compulsory to be opted by the learner. So that kind of situation will come, that we will declare 10 schedule. Still a student will come back to me and say, sir, none of these 10 schedules suits to me. I'm not all prepared. I'm working on some important project, and I will come back and tell you when to start my examination. When I'm prepared for the exam, then only you take my exam. And I will have, as an institution, as a university, no option but to allow that. That's the kind of education 4.0 we are expecting. That's the kind of ecosystem in education 4.0 we are expecting. And that's how the bottom line will be, that in 21st century of digital age, those who can read, write and speak are no more educated. Those who will be the educated people. What is the digital age definition of educated people? Those who can learn, unlearn and relearn, they will only be considered as educated. And now I will not speak because I have exhausted my time. So at any other slot, if I get opportunity, I can keep on talking whole day on education 4.0. So I will speak little later, because our honorable chief guest and then president of the function is here, and we have to start the technical session also on the time. But we'll try to give you this message, that the learning is very important, friends. Learning must continue for ourselves. Learning must continue for our colleagues. Learning must continue for the students, the students who we are for whom we are responsible. We are obliged to ensure that they learn in a much better way. They learn in a maximum possible better way. That we must undertake, and we must ensure. And that's how this FDP has been organized. That despite all the disruptions, despite everything, we must continue learning. I take this opportunity to pay my special gratitude to my both the valued and honorable guest today, honorable chief guest, Dr. Dinesh Kumar ji sir, and the Vice Chancellor of JC Bose University, and Honorable Professor M.N. Doja sir, who is presiding over today's inaugural function, the Director of Triple IT, Sonipat, Haryana. Thank you so much, sir, for having spared your valuable time out of your busy schedule and being with us. And your word of wisdom will go a long way in the career of all the participants who are attending from different parts of the country this particular FDP. Friends, important will be that you undertake that learning properly. And I received few messages since yesterday evening when I have declared the assessment schedule in the WhatsApp group of the participant. That sir, I am afraid of this assessment, this kind of a strict assessment you are doing. Will we be in a position to perform? Friends, let me assure you that if you are proactive in your learning, you just attend 4-hour session in a active manner, and videos of these sessions will be uploaded on BBI Camp Bharati Vidyapit channel. Just go through the video at a little later stage. All of you will get 100%. All of you will get at least 80% plus, because 80% is required for A plus grade. Do not be afraid of this test. There are two kind of tests. One is multiple choice question test, which will be conducted. Four MCQs are being conducted. Is absolutely based on the discussions, absolutely based on the deliberations, absolutely based on the lecture, which will be delivered during the FDP. And the second is assignment, and that assignment you have to write the summary of the session, maybe in 150 words, summary of every session, and also you have to write that what learning, what takeaway this session has given you, and then lastly that in which way this session is going to transform either your personal life or professional life. So this is so simple for a teacher. Takes around 20 minutes if you pay attention to write the summary and and understand that what did I learn out of this. Absolutely not difficult. So those participants who are afraid that the entire organizing team is very strict, we are not strict, we are facilitator, but we are disciplined. And please believe me, only discipline process yield a desired result. Otherwise you will not get desired result. So in discipline process, a chaotic process, and chaotic process will never give the desired result. So let's participate in the process. Let's appreciate it. And even if in 4 tests you realize that you could not score 80%, come back to me. I have just spoken demand-driven examination. Come back to me. I have not performed, and I want a I want a 5th. I want a 6th. I have kept that scope in my schedule while declaring the test, that I will give you that flexibility, that option. But do participate in it. Great learning will occur. I have chosen speakers out of too much of filtration process. So all the speakers who will be taking sessions have been chosen with too much of filtration process. I am sure if you participate, the great learning, not only the performance in the test or the assessment, the great learning is going to happen. Thank you so much, and wish you a very fruitful, very meaningful learning in this FDP. Our team is here to help you, to facilitate you, but learning, you all have to work as an active learner. You all have to be an active learner. Thank you so much. Dr. Vishal, over to you.
Thank you so much, sir, for your inspiring words and motivation to all the gatherings. Today, we have great privilege to have Dr. Dinesh Kumar, sir, Vice Chancellor, JC Bose University of Science and Technology, YMCA, Faridabad, with us as the honorable chief guest of the program. The recipient of prestigious Homi J. Bhabha Memorial Award of Indian Science Congress, Professor Dinesh Kumar is the 5th Vice Chancellor of JC Bose University of Science and Technology, YMCA, Faridabad, formerly known as YMCA University of Science and Technology, Faridabad. An able administrator and ardent researcher, Professor Dinesh Kumar, who obtained his master's and PhD degree from Cambridge University, took over the charge as Vice Chancellor of the university on November 2015. Prior to join JC Bose University, Sir has been serving as professor in Kurukshetra University, where he started his academic career in the year 1987. His teaching and research career span over 30 years. He has worked as a director of UIET from August 2010 to 2015. He has been chairman, Department of Electronic Science at Kurukshetra University from 2006 to 9 and then again from 2013 to 15. He has worked as a director, Kurukshetra University Alumni Association for many years. He was awarded with Homi J. Bhabha Gold Medal by Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji in Mysore during the 103rd Indian Science Congress on January 3rd, 2016. He is the first scientist and vice chancellor of any university in Haryana to receive this prestigious award for his contribution to the development of science and technology in the country. He has also been conferred with the most eminent Vice Chancellor Award by All India Council of Human Rights, Liabilities and Social Justice and Rank Bandhu Shiksha Shiromani Samman by Rank Bandhu Sahitya Academy of Commendable Contribution in the Field of Education. He had been elected as the president of the sections of Material Science of Indian Science Congress Association for the session 2017 and 18. As an academician, he is a widely traveled person and has been to France, Italy, Germany, Austria, England, USA, Russia, Austria, Australia, Taiwan, and many more in connection with his research activities. He has published more than 100 research papers. His research group is engaged in the fabrication and characterization of semiconductor devices and thin films. A total of 18 students have already completed their PhD thesis, and about 10 students are pursuing under his guidance. I heartily welcome you, sir, at Bharati Vidyapeeth. Now I request sir to please address the gathering with your words of wisdom. Sir, please.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Jain. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, thank you. So first of all, good morning, friends. I'm really happy and obliged that Bharatiya Vidyapeeth has invited me as a chief guest for today's function. I'm very happy that Dr. Hoda, who is director of Vidyapeeth Institute, has already spoken so well. I mean, he has described everything so well. Perhaps he has made my life very easy and my job very easy, at least for today's function. Um, I'm very happy that the three best, the top societies of the country, together with Bharatiya Vidyapeeth, are organizing this activity. I'm sure the very fact that the three societies are involved, it means the quality has to be really good. I can see the quality of this FDP program. I really congratulate the organizers of Vidyapeeth, and I'm very happy that they have taken such a, they have really done a lot of hard work in finding out and in deciding the various speakers. I was going through their the details of the whole program, and when I was going through the details, I was really amazed, and I was really impressed the kind of topics they have chosen for this particular FDP. It is not only computer, electronics, IT, but it is having many other things which are actually needed in present time. So, well, friends, Dr. M. Doja, who happened to be director, who is the director at Triple IT Sonipat, who is presiding this function today, Dr. Prerna Gaur, Dr. Saini, Dr. Bakal, Dr. Hoda, and Dr. Vishal Jain. First of all, again, yes, we are meeting on this platform that we are talking, on a virtual mode. We are not able to see each other physically, but yes, still it is quite a good option, at least in present time. So, as far as the title of this FDP is concerned, it is indeed a very apt title, because all of us know that in March, I think in mid of March to this year, when this lockdown was declared, when the pandemic was declared formally, no one of us was sure that what is going to happen in future. We were all worried that what is going to happen to our teaching and learning process. But thanks to the technology, thanks to the telecom technology, computer technology, electronics technology, that we really we could not only survive, rather we did very well, because I can see that almost 80% students are almost happy with the present way of teaching. 20% are still not able to get the real fruit of this technology and real kind of teaching learning process which they should have. I know in my university there are a couple of students from J&K, because broadband technology is not available to them. They are not able to access many of the teaching learning process being imparted through online mode. Some of the students in Bihar are also having similar problems, and some of the students in rural areas around our Faridabad are also having sometimes some problems. But yes, still it is not, I can say, okay, still 80% job could be completed, and we could get 80% success, as far as I know from the feedback which we got from the students. But yes, we need to, as a responsible university, as a responsible educational institute, it is not like we need to be happy only with the 80% result. We need to have 100% result. We need to make sure that each and every student, the student sitting at the last line of this whole scenario, they should also get the benefit of this system. So we really need to bother, we really need to worry about those 20% student also. So perhaps in present FDP, which we are organizing here, we need to find out means and ways that where almost, it is all inclusive. It should not leave those 20% students. It should not leave those poor students who are not able to use technology, who are not able to afford technology. So perhaps in present this FDP, if you can find out some ways and means by which we can take care of every citizen, every student, then really it will be a good thing also. I know as Dr. Hoda was speaking about Education 4 and many new things which are going to come in future in the area of education teaching learning process. It is one of the things that perhaps students may not, all of the students may not visit campus now. Some of the students may sit at home. Some of the students may sit in some of the library corner, or some of the students may come and actually attend laboratories. So we might have to switch over to the blended learning, but I'm sure that we can find out some ways, some of the technique we can devise where our most of the students can actually get fruit of this technology teaching learning process. Another important thing which I thought of sharing with you today, you see, throughout the country, there is a hue and cry about conducting examination because most of the education institutes have said that they are not able to conduct exam in the present scenario, because everyone is worried that if they are not able to maintain physical distance, then COVID may affect badly, and it may be creating problem. So everyone is actually worried, and most of the states, not most of, many of the states have also said that they will not conduct any exam, and they will simply declare result on the basis of the past performance. So this is a peculiar situation which has come. I don't know. I mean, I'm not in favor of giving degrees without examination, frankly speaking. But had we taken care, as Professor Hoda was talking, suppose we would have taken care of the fact that we would be doing this continuous evaluation, then this situation would not have arisen. Because in the continuous evaluation, you can actually conduct small tests, small quizzes, and you can evaluate, you can give marks. That could have been possible even while we were doing teaching learning process using online mode. So I think this is something which we should have taken care, which we could not, and because of that, this situation has arisen when most of the students across the country, across the state, they are saying that they don't want to sit in the examination system at all. So this is something which we also need to see as a responsible teacher, as a responsible academic institute. This kind of teaching, learning, and examination when the things are going to be online for I don't know, for maybe another 6 months or maybe for another year. So this is a very important way. This is a very important initiative which the Bharatiya Vidyapeeth along with the various societies have taken, where they are going to teach this group of teachers. They will make them expert. They will try to make them learn the latest things about the technology, especially which can be used for effective teaching and learning. So Coming to the fact that most of the time, you see, now we have seen that it is not only teaching and learning, it is not only educational institute where 80% work is being done almost to our satisfaction. Even in the industries, even in the big industries, I have come to know that they are also able to carry out most of the things, while sitting at home, from home. So these all industries, especially working nearby Faridabad area, I happen to interact with many people, and I find that except few industries where actually you have to be there physically, most of the industries are giving the freedom to their employees that they can work from home, and they are saying that the work from home culture actually is not bad at all. They are very happy. They say perhaps this will become a new normal in the near future. So I think this solves a lot of things, but we need to as a computer, as a electronics, as a telecommunication expert, we need to we need to teach most of the people across, and most of the students across which we come across, that how to use this technology effectively, most effectively. Still, I know that in our university, for example, we try to spend some time on developing our own LMS, learning management system, and we could actually also use this learning management system for teaching learning, and the process was good. We tried a lot, but there were some issues here and there. But yes, perhaps this is an opportunity when teachers and students and whole system can be taught properly, and can be given facilities where they can actually make best use of the technology and can learn them, so that they can do better in their profession. So I think this is a very good idea that you are organizing this event. I can see the titles of various uh, uh, this is a 2-week FDP where you have included topics like attitude of gratitude. This is something I was really, after seeing this topic, I was so happy that this is very important. One need to have gratitude. One need to express gratitude. So that attitude has to be built in the students, because in the present time, when student will not be able to interact physically teachers, they are having a different kind of mindset, and they are having different kind of social, it is difficult for them to go to the social system. They are not well aware of the surrounding nearby. And then if we give training to our young students in this age like this, then they might be having some other kind of problems. So we need to take care of the students from that point of view also, because they need to go to the playground for playing, which they are not going. They need to talk to their friends. They need to sit in the canteen, have tea, coffee, and gossip. That is also a very important part of the education system, which they will miss. And so because of that, they will be having lots of different kind of aberrations in the whole personality. So we need to take care in the present time, as a teacher, as an academician, we need to think about this thing also, that how to take care of these kind of problems. So I'm very happy that you are introducing this kind of topics. And another important thing which I came across in this COVID period is, you see, if someone gets sick, if someone is not feeling well, and by chance, if the person is also having COVID, it is so difficult to get medical help. If you go to the medical hospital, they will not give you medical help. So I found personally, I have faced this thing, that in this time, this kind of health assistance was so difficult. So perhaps we need to also think seriously that how to take care of these things using technology, that those people can get help, medical help, either through telemedicine or things like that. People are trying to give it, but still they were not able to get. Many of the people still face those problems. And another problem is that cyber security. In the present time, when everything is being handled online, using mobile and computers, then the cyberspace, a lot of people actually are facing this problem also, that different kind of threats and attacks they are getting on the system. So we need to teach our faculty members. We need to devise our syllabus in such a way that these issues are actually taken care, so that our future students, our students who are trained, they can really they can take care of these problems. So I hope that this faculty development program is a big success, and I can see the kind of Josh Dr. Hoda, the way he was speaking. I'm sure this will be a 100% successful program, and I would like to express my sincere thanks again that you invited me on this occasion, and I would like to give you the best wishes for the successful completion of this 2 weeks FDP. Thank you very much again. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Thank you so much, sir. You spoke very well. You touched almost all the points prevailing in the present circumstances and the challenges which educational system is facing. And the most important, you mentioned about continuous assessment. In fact, many of the universities abroad and in developed nations have phased out their end semester examination. Had we followed, you rightly said, sir, had we followed this mechanism, we would not have so much of hue and cry would not have been generated. Very much grateful to you, sir. Thank you so much, and we'll meet again, sir. Wish you a very safe and healthy life. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you so much, sir, for enlightening us. It is a great privilege for all of us to have you with us, sir, in this program. Today, we have other great privilege to have Professor M.N. Doza, sir, Director, Triple IT Sonipat, as an honorable guest of the program. Sir has worked as a professor in the Department of Computer Engineering, Faculty of Engineering and Technology, Jamia Millia Islamia, New Delhi. He was the founder head of the Department of Computer Engineering for 6 years from its inception and has established the innovative computer labs in the department. He started BTech Computer Engineering, BE Computer Engineering as a day and evening course respectively. He started PhD in the Department of Computer Engineering. He has more than 2 decades of academic research, training, and administrative experience in the field of computer engineering and IT. He received his BSc, MTech, and PhD from BIT, IIT, and Jamia Millia Islamia, respectively. His area of research are software engineering, networks, security, simulation, operating system, and software computing. He is an active researcher. He has published more than 100 publications in referred journals and conferences of international and national repute. He has been referee for a number of journals in the area of computer engineering and information technology. Several students have been awarded PhD under his able guidance, and several students are working under his supervision. He is the author of a number of books in the area of information technology. He has successfully completed several projects, including AICT sponsored projects. He has chaired various sessions of various reputed conferences and delivered lectures on recent and burning topics in computer engineering and information technology as an invited speaker of a number of places across India and the world. Sir is a member of Academic Council, Board of Research Studies, and Board of Studies of a number of universities, including Ambedkar University, Lucknow, NSUT, New Delhi, AMU, Guru Gobind Singh Intrasta University, NIT, Jamia Hamdard University. He has been a member of number of committees of various universities in various capacities. He has been expert member of various committees constituted by the UGC and the AICT. I also be associated with the affiliation work of various universities of Guru Gobind Intrasta University, MD University, UP Technical University, Uttarakhand Technical University. He has served as a member of Court, Executive Council, and Academic Council of Jamia Millia Islamia. He has been training and president officer of the university and the coordinator of university library and data infotech at Jamia Millia Islamia. He worked as a coordinator of Central University, Central Computing Facility of Computer Engineering and Technology at Jamia. He was member of IT core group of Jamia Millia Islamia. I heartily welcome you, sir, at Bharati Vidyapeeth Institute of Computer Applications and Management. Now I request, sir, to please present the presidential address to the gathering. Sir, please.
Good morning. Are you able to hear me?
Yes, sir.
Professor Dinesh, Professor Hoda, my friend Professor Saini, Professor Prerna Garg, Professor Jagdish, good morning to all of you. I'm happy to preside over this function, the FDP on emerging technologies for education and research. Every situation creates an opportunity. Today, this pandemic also created an opportunity for teachers, for the nation, and for the society itself. If you look into the scenario, we people who were really afraid of using technology, I'm talking about teachers, started using technology in a big way. Online courses, I was a member of the UGC committee on online courses also, uh, was a bird which was a subsidy over there earlier. It was a small portion of the real courses which we were really conducting. But today, it is a major part, major chunk after the lockdown. Today, most of the people who were not using online resources are using online resources. I've seen people of dental institutes, people of fine arts, people of physiotherapy using online classes. Today, time has really changed. You have to cash on the opportunities, as Professor Hoda said. Today, data is the fuel for development. If you look into the stock exchange, the companies, most of the companies were going down, but some companies were going up. Look into Reliance platform. It got the highest number of funding in the history of India. In between these pandemics, today we have to change as technology changes. Looking into online courses, there is a lot of debate on evaluation system and the effectiveness of online courses. But there are numerous methods being available for conduction of the evaluation process. And we have been able to generate a lot of new processes which were not in existence earlier. Even companies have changed. Today, most of the sugar mills are making sanitizers. Most of the garment manufacturers are making PPE kits. We have to change as the situation changes. Look into the past. Microsoft was going really poorly. Their shares were going down. A new CEO comes, changes the thrust area to AI and cloud, and it again starts going up as among the richest companies in the world. We all have to look into how effectively these online courses are to be designed, are to be more effective, are to be more absorbed. There are various theories going on. Some people say that you have to include a competitions in these courses. That means you have to make it more dream oriented, challenge oriented, so that people start taking more and more interest in it. Professor Dinesh mentioned health as an issue. There was a very simple solution. People were not getting beds in hospitals. But hospitals, there were many hospitals in which beds were available and people were not going. So a simple site, how many beds are available in which hospital, solved the solution. So people went to those hospitals in which beds were available. Cybersecurity has become a real key area today. I think we have learned a lot from this pandemic how to save ourselves. If we follow certain steps, then we will be very secure in the area of cybersecurity the way we are following in this pandemic. I would like to thank Professor Huda for inviting me, and I hope that this FDP brings the desired results. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir, for enlightening us.
Thank you so much, sir, for enlightening us and giving the presidential address. In fact, you rightly touched almost all important and critical issues which were not touched in earlier talks. So if we follow, probably such kind of ad hocism will not be realized in the entire system. Thank you so much, sir. I'm obliged with your gracious presence and having enlightened us for all of us. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much to all the guest members, chief guests, to give their valuable time to us. I give my sincere thanks to various professional societies, IEEE, IEEE Delhi Section, Computer Society of India, Safa Society, IETE, and IST Delhi Section for having believed in us and their technical collaboration for this program. I give thanks to my team members, Dr. Ritika, Mr. Manish, and Mr. Uttam for their continued support to continue with this program. Thank you very much to all. So can now we start our first technical session, sir?
Dr. Vishal.
Yes, sir.
In between, I switched off my video and put my audio on mute and started taking the update from Dr. Shankar Goenka, sir.
Okay, sir.
As he informed to us yesterday that he was not well, and then yesterday he went to hospital. Hospital people gave something, and then again whole night he was vomiting. So he again went today to the hospital. At this moment, he's in the hospital. So I have spoken to him, and once he will be okay, then he will take any other session which we can accommodate in this EMDP. I was waiting for such a situation that you give me 2 hours.
Yes, sir. Since last
I didn't schedule my lecture.
Yes,
so
sir.
In between our honorable chief guest was talking, I spoke to Dr. Shankar Goenka and quickly made up my mind that these 2 hours I will be taking.
Yes, most welcome, sir.
So participants, those who are here since 9:30, if you want 5 minutes refresh time can be there. You can if you want to get refreshed, please get refreshed, and then after I will start. So 5 minutes it is. क्या टाइम हो गया? 11:10
13 मिनट्स हो गए सर. 11:13 हो गए. 11:20 पे स्टार्ट करते हैं सर.
11:20 पे मैं शुरू हो जाऊंगा. आप सब वापस आ जाएं. ठीक है. जो काम मैं पिछले 2.5 महीने से वेट कर रहा था, आज मुझे पहली बार 6ठे एफडीपी में मिला है. So I will utilize this possibility, get refreshed and come back. Yeah, thank you. People are writing, thank you for refreshment time. I can understand. From 9:30 people are here. And for that, I could not take morning breakfast. So now I will take in this 5 minutes and will take my tea. So come back in 5 minutes, please. So Uttam, you made me presenter, so I can share my screen. Correct. Yeah, let me share. And while sharing video, what I have to do? I have to close the screen, or along with that screen, I have to share it.
So you can along with it, you just you have put up the hyperlink on the PPT, sir.
Correct.
Yes, so that will be run, sir.
That will run.
Yes, sir.
I will test it first by the time participants are in refreshment.
Yes, sir. Please.
So my screen is coming now.
Yes, sir.
Let me put it in slideshow mode. So slideshow is coming.
Yes, sir. It is coming, sir.
विशाल का इंस्ट्रक्शन समझ लूं कि पार्टिसिपेंट को भी ऑन कर देता हूँ और
चैट ऑप्शन भी सर, चैट ऑप्शन भी ऑन कर लीजिए प्लीज।
चैट विंडो भी कर
सर एक को लेफ्ट साइड ले जाइए, एक को राइट साइड, वो सही लगता है।
चैट विंडो बड़ी हो रही है।
सर एक को लेफ्ट में रख के बड़ा कर लीजिए, एक को राइट में रख के बड़ा कर लीजिए।
ठीक है, एक बड़ा करता हूँ और इसको ये मिनिमम ना चैट विंडो की इन्होंने फिक्स कर रखी है, उससे कम नहीं होने चाहिए।
सर मिनिमम उसका फिक्स है सर साइज।
हाँ, मिनिमम विंडो फिक्स है
जी।
ठीक है, मैंने इसको दो कॉर्नर पे एडजस्ट कर दिया है।
Selva sir, you are most welcome. This is your third FDP with our Bharati Vidyapeeth. I'm seeing in the chat window.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Very good morning, sir. Happy good morning to both of you.
Good morning, sir. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, sir. Very happy, sir, to work with FDP, with BVCA. I'm very happy. Thank you. Thank you.
And now let me see the video link. Huh?
Yes, sir.
Any video is works. So is it coming?
So it is coming, sir. It will take 1 minute, sir. Just
a minute. Voice is also coming?
No, sir.
Voice is not coming.
The video and voice both are not coming at my end, sir.
So neither video nor voice.
No, sir.
So what I have to do now?
Sir, might be there is some network issue.
No, then possibly I have to share video. Huh?
Yes, sir. Again,
Sir, एक बार वो
सर दोबारा से शेयर कंटेंट कर दीजिए।
सर शेयर कंटेंट।
अच्छा, वो शेयरिंग बंद करने की जरूरत तो नहीं है?
नहीं सर, फिर ये दोनों में फ्लिप हो सकता है।
अच्छा, फ्लिप होगा, ठीक है। शेयर कंटेंट
उत्तम से टाइम पे आ जाते हैं।
हाँ, उत्तम टाइम पे होता है। इतनी सारी स्क्रीन से पहले वो स्क्रीन ढूंढनी पड़ेगी ना जिसमें वीडियो।
सर बाकी बंद कर दीजिए सर, बहुत सारा खुला हुआ होगा, बाकी सब बंद कर दीजिए सेशन के टाइम पे सर।
अच्छा, अब देखो जरा
स्क्रीन आ रही है सर, एक बार प्ले करिएगा सर।
वीडियो की स्क्रीन आ गई?
हाँ जी सर।
अब देखो वीडियो आ रही?
सर वीडियो आ रही है, टेक्स्ट आ रहा है वीडियो का, लेकिन सर ऑडिबल नहीं है।
वीडियो आ रही है लेकिन ऑडियो नहीं आ रहा?
नहीं सर।
तो बताओ क्या करें अब, हम पहले रुको देखते हैं।
सर ऐसा कर सकते हैं, वीडियो दिखा सकते हैं, बाद में एक्सप्लेन कर देंगे थिंग्स।
वैसे इस वीडियो में कुछ ज्यादा वर्ड नहीं है, लेकिन ऑडियो नहीं आ रही वहाँ।
नहीं सर, ऑडियो नहीं आ रही है। सर आपका वॉल्यूम फुल है क्या ऑडियो का?
हाँ, एक सेकेंड।
विभा मैडम को ऑडियो देयर सर। विभा मैडम इज कंफर्मिंग
ऑडियो इज देयर।
मुझे
those participants who are there, please confirm me whether audio and video both confirm me in the chat window.
Sir, video is coming, audio is not coming.
Audio what about video? Video is coming, both are there.
Video is coming, sir, audio is not coming.
I think those participants will have not getting anything less bandwidth, for them video will be a problem. Is it?
यही होगा सर, क्योंकि सीमा मैडम कह रही है केवल
तो ये ज्यादा बैंडविड्थ चाहिए होता है, तो कहीं बैंडविड्थ की वजह से ऑडियो या वीडियो में दिक्कत हो सकती है, क्योंकि नॉर्मल वॉइस से बहुत ज्यादा बैंडविड्थ चाहिए ना वीडियो।
जी जी जी।
Video is not coming, both are good. So those participants who are writing not coming, please check if you can increase your bandwidth or switch off few devices which are consuming your bandwidth, so that both should be good. And it is not 2-3 videos I will be showing in between. Rest all I will be talking. And even in case of video, it is the text which is important, or the message which is important, voiceover is very less, it's just a music.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, it is both audio low, audio not available.
Excuse me,
Please
sir,
bear with me because this is
can the video be can the video be sent on the mail or WhatsApp? Because it's not possible to see or hear anything from the slides.
No, we will give you all videos on WhatsApp. All these videos are
Okay.
YouTube videos, not my proprietary item. I can anytime share.
Thank you.
So first complete this, then share it. Right?
Thanks. Thank you.
2 मिनट बचे हैं. एक मिनट. अच्छा, मैं अगर मिनी विंडो में प्ले करूं तो विशाल लोग देख पाएंगे? फुल विंडो करना जरूरी है
सर? पता नहीं, वो करके देखना पड़ेगा सर.
मिनी विंडो तो मैं देख पा रहा हूँ कि मिनी विंडो में हो रहा है. शायद कम बैंडविड्थ ले.
मिनी विंडो मेरे को भी दिख रही है सर.
दिख रही?
हाँ जी सर, आपकी पीपीटी के राइट साइड में आ रही है सर.
हाँ, मैं सोच रहा था कि मिनी करूं शायद.
और इसका म्यूजिक भी आ रहा है मुझे तो थोड़ा अब सर.
Will participant confirm that a mini window you can see audio and video both? Probably it will take lesser bandwidth.
Sir, mini video is possible. We can view, but audio is not there.
Okay, so no problem. I will make it full view. Okay, I will make it full view.
Yes sir. I request to all the participants, please use the chat window. Please don't open your mic. Please use the chat option for the conversation with the speaker and other participants. Chat is the prominent way for the conversation. Please.
And keep writing your questions in the chat window. I will give you some time to ask question directly. You can then you unmute your mic and ask question, but keep writing questions in the chat window. Dr. Vishal, if you can keep record of all important questions from the chat window.
Yes, sir. I will do.
If I miss anyone, you can remind me.
Yes, sir.
So, once again, very good morning to all of you. In fact, I have spoken during inauguration that there is nothing constant in this world except change. And sensitize you that what and in which way changes are driving us, changes are forcing us to change. I give you an example of Nokia feature phone. The second example of our teaching learning system, which has changed to the extent that at this moment no physical session is happening, and everything has changed from existing face-to-face, from the existing face-to-face mode to a kind of complete virtual mode. In few kind of courses, maybe in computer science also, this completely virtual may be sufficient because now good number of virtual laboratories are available. But in many other courses, maybe civil engineering, maybe many other chemical engineering, or in a BSc course in chemistry, the still virtual lab may not be sufficient. So some physical sessions may need to be conducted, and that's how we claim it is a blended mode of learning. And while doing the blended mode of learning, we'll have to keep a balance that which to be shifted, which learning aspect to be shifted in a online mode, and which all learning aspect cannot be shifted, so that will be in physical mode. Having said that, let's see the kind of the situation, the kind of the incident happening in and around us, keep on giving us a different perception. So we should not get easily persuaded, or we should not get easily dragged by that kind of happening in the ecosystem. A quick story on the change I want to share with all of you, that there was a young couple who was working in an IT firm, because now from is happening, companies are trying to open their service centers, their branches in the remotest location possible, so that the customers need not to visit to a far distance office. The office can be near to the customer. Under that environment, the company asked the couple to shift to a newly developed center in a small town. Now imagine a couple who was working in Gurgaon or Greater Noida or Delhi was asked to shift the location from maybe Gurgaon, Delhi or Noida to a Jhajjar or Bahadurgarh, where a new center was open, a small town. In this environment of challenge, the employees have no option. Whatever is the instruction, they have to follow. So they followed the instruction, went there to the new city, maybe Jhajjar, a small town, and then company while also asked that find a good accommodation and we'll be happy to pay for your accommodation. When they went there, they established after a basic search with the help of some local people, they could see a house which was locked for almost last 10-15 years, and no tenant was allowed in the home. But when landlord has a discussion with this IT couple, the landlord thought that is a couple seems to be good, educated person, I can give him this house. So the deal was a couple decided to open the house, and so they took all the luggage and went inside the house. When they went inside the house, they saw the entire house is full of dirt from inside, from outside. Might be because since last 10 years it was not being cleaned. But there was no time. It was Sunday evening, and Monday morning they had to go to the office and then take charge of the new job there. So they decided that we will clean ourselves from inside. Outside cleaning, like windows, like outside house cleaning, will be undertaken at some later stage with some person I get for that purpose. So they cleaned from the inside and they shifted in the house. And next day morning, the schedule of working people, quickly your breakfast, have your breakfast. If you are fortunate enough, quick your lunch also, pack your tiffin, and then immediately move to your office. So they cooked the breakfast, packed the lunch, and was taking breakfast on this dining table. While taking the breakfast on the dining table, the wife was seeing outside to the window what is in the outside to the house. And then when she was seeing outside to the house from this window, she saw this dirty clothes being put after wash outside of the neighbor's house on a rope under the sun for getting probably maybe dry. And the clothes even after wash was not very clean. So she asked to the husband, look, probably it's a small town and people do not know how to wash clothes, or probably they do not have access to a right kind of detergent, or maybe the water here is contaminated, etc., etc. Multiple negative thoughts started coming, and she started sharing that with the husband. And again next day morning, again sitting on the same dining table, she saw the same kind of clothes. This process continued for almost a month together. There was a fine morning, very pleasant surprise, that the wife saw from the same window absolutely clean, spotless white cloths being put outside on the same rope of the neighbor's house. And then she started talking to the husband, look, someone has come and taught them how to clean the cloths. Someone has come and gave them a right kind of detergent. Then the husband replied, no, it was me who got up early today morning and cleaned our window panes, because window panes were so dirty that whatever you were seeing outside the wall were dirty to you. And that's how friends, पंक्तियां जो मैंने आपको बिगिनिंग में इनॉग्रेशन में बताई हैं कि हमें अपने को बदलना है। जो इन्वायरमेंट में सिचुएशन इकोसिस्टम में होती है उससे ड्राइव नहीं होना। You can be a change agent to change the ecosystem. One person can change the ecosystem. And India is fortunate enough for giving many such examples. Did anyone imagine that the British Empire, under which there was no sunset, that can be changed, and with one committed leader of our Gandhi Babu? Of course, lakhs of people join, but the commitment is very important. Yes, I can change the society, and for that I have to change my negative thoughts in the environment. आज जो कोरोना का पैंडेमिक का सिचुएशन है वो भी बहुत सारे नेगेटिव थॉट्स हमें बता रहा। हमें उससे नहीं ड्राइव होना है, हमें ये देखना है कि हम अपने को कैसे चेंज करेंगे। तो उम्र भर गालिब यही भूल रहा, धूप चेहरे पे थी और मैं साफ करता रहा। हम ये काम नहीं करेंगे फिर फ्रेंड्स, और हम ये इंश्योर करेंगे कि चेंज प्रोसेस में हम सब कुछ चेंज करें। चेंज पॉजिटिविटी के लिए हो। अंडरस्टैंड एवरी चेंज इज not a progress. Every progress is a change, but every change is not a progress. I'm talking of a positive changes. I'm not talking of a change which will bring us in a negative domain. So let's appreciate that change and let's be ready ourselves for the change. And I'm proud that we Indians have shown to the world, particularly for teaching learning system, that to which extent we are adapting to the change. We have changed and almost 100% at this moment of time. We have shifted our meeting, our conferences, our discussions, our classroom, from a face-to-face model to a virtual model, from a face-to-face model to a 100% online and digital model. For in days to come, we will have to decide how much percent in digital or online will be better, and how much percent with maintaining the physical model will need to be understood. I will speak on this. Next important concept which I have to pass on at this moment to you, value of assets. This scientist is a great scientist in software domain. For IT people, he is considered as the father of the software quality. He's there are many other father of the quality, but for software, he is considered father of quality. And when I'm talking of a father of quality, then Watts Humphrey's contribution cannot be ignored. He has written many books. In his entire philosophy, based on his entire philosophy, the Software Engineering Institute, SEI, at Carnegie Mellon University, better at CMU, is established. Anytime you Google SEI-CMU, you will come to know. And on his philosophy, the CMM model, many you might, those who are aware can write in the chat window. Yes. CMM, capability maturity model, and then different versions, CMM1, CMM2, CMMI, and then PCM, people's capability maturity model, on which the entire philosophy of IT companies across the world is based. Now, IT companies don't go for ISO certification. IT companies don't go for other Six Sigma kind of certification. IT companies primarily go for CMM assessment. So this Watts Humphrey philosophy is very dear to me, and I personally believe that there is no structured model, no better structured model than CMM to enforce the quality, whether it is our NBA process or NAC process or the ISO process. All these quality models are process improvement model, and process improvement model का father या जनक अगर हम कहेंगे तो वो वॉट्स हम्फ्री को कहेंगे। इससे ज्यादा structured model आज तक no organization or no philosopher has given. A model in which you are at level 5 at the top of the quality, and if you miss one of the key practice area, if you just miss one of the process from top level 5, you are put at level 1. That's the kind of situation. अगर लेवल 2 का एक प्रोसेस छोड़ दिया आपने और आप लेवल 5 पे हैं, तो ये मॉडल ऐसा है जो आपको लेवल 5 से लेवल 1 पे लाके खड़ा कर देगा, डिस्पाइट द फैक्ट कि बाकी सारे प्रोसेसेस आप फॉलो करते हैं फॉर बीइंग एट लेवल 5. So that is such a kind of a structured model. Why I have shown this slide here? He has done a tremendous job, and this particular philosophy where he has redefined the Chinese proverb is very important. All of you might be knowing there was a centuries old Chinese proverb, and the proverb was, if you do not know where you are going, any road will do. But Humphrey came forward in early 60s and said, you are mistaken, friends. If you do not know where you are going, any road will do. Sorry, friends, those who do not know Hindi, I will definitely try to convert all my Hindi or all my poetry in English. Don't worry. So if you do not know where you are going, any road will do. It's no more true. And then he gave a counter example as a mathematician, as a student of science. If we want to disprove anything, what we have to do? We have to give a counter example, and that one counter example can disprove all the prior theory. And that's how the centuries old proverb, Chinese proverb, if you don't know where you are going, any road will do, was disproved by the Watts Humphrey by giving a simple counter example that if you don't know where you are, a map won't help. And we all are teachers, we know that we have a very illustrious Google map. Even GPS want to understand where from you want to check your location, from your current location, or you want to feed some specific location in your from address. As a computer science person, if I want to search any specific file, it asks me where to search, entire folder or maybe some specific subfolder. So if you do not know where you are, a map won't help. And that's how then he came a step forward and says that if you do not know where you are weak or you went wrong, you cannot improve. That was my message, in fact, why I have shared this concept, that we need to assess ourselves. We need to introspect ourselves. That's how in case of undertaking research, it is first step is to conduct review of literature. What is the review of literature? We try to understand with the help of review of literature that what is the current state of art in this particular subject area or in this particular theme area. So we need to understand what is the current state of art. That what Humphrey is saying, that when you are talking to understand or analyze the current state of art, you must understand what are the weaknesses, what are the problem, and then focus on the problem areas. That what as a part of researcher also we do, that we identify the current, analyze the current state of the art through the literature survey, and then we identify the research gap, and we start focusing on the research gap. So our entire research is based on research gap. So this is very important message which I wanted to share with all of you. And then next 2-3 slides, I will share what is the current state of art in the academic system. This survey was published. There were many surveys, but this survey was published in September 2015, and this was little more liberal survey, because many other surveys which AICT conducted, which NASSCOM conducted, which UGC also sponsored few surveys. Those surveys says that hardly 10 to 20% people are employable in the industry. Those people who are taught by us, those students who are taught by us, out of them only 10 to 20% are employable. But this survey was conducted in the year 2015 by Pearson Higher Learning, and Pearson, what they did, they included from the pre-primary to tertiary education, the primary, pre-primary, primary, secondary, higher secondary, and then tertiary, every form of education they have added. And they concluded that 50% educated students are not employable, rest 50% are employable. This is the most liberal survey available. Why I'm sharing this survey? We may not agree to many of the parameters shown in this survey. We may disagree to many of the philosophies and the methodologies of this survey. But at least in order to take message, we should be alert enough to take the message. And that was the message we are going to take out of this, that there is something or other wrong. And I'm sure all of you will agree that those 50% who at least here in this survey, liberal survey, have been termed as not employable, those 50% also get employable after 6 months, after 1 year down the line. So this implies there was not a big gap, there was a small gap, and that small gap is considered as an industry-ready professional. So had we considered on those few additional attributes along with our day-to-day teaching in the classroom, probably every one of us would have, every one of our students would have become employable right on day one. I will be focusing on those additional attributes as well. That is my takeaway. And that should be your takeaway from this particular slide. And the next important is, this survey, this market research was conducted by TCS, and TCS shared this slide in the year 2014 when we attended a directors meet with the TCS. TCS, many of you might be knowing the Fortune first 500 companies. Those who know Fortune kind of companies can write in the chat window, yes. Fortune 5 top 1000 companies, top 500 companies, top 100 companies, top 50 companies, and there is a big whore amongst all corporates that can we have 10% customers, can we have 20% customers out of first Fortune 100 companies in the world. So amongst the first 100 Fortune first 100 customers, this survey was conducted by TCS, and the result of the survey says that in the year 2010, customer was ready to give 60 days cycle time. Most of you are engineers and you know the cycle time. Cycle time is defined as the time required from customer communication, from problem formulation till the delivery or the installation of the product or services at the site of the customer. So this is the cycle time. So in 2010, means 10 years ago from now, the customer was ready to give 60 days cycle time, and by the time 2020 will be over, customer will expect the better product, faster delivery with more features same day. This implies 60 times my productivity has to go up. And that's how, friend, industry 4.0, that's how convergence, that's how education 4.0, that's how making industry ready professionals, that's how the AI enabled world, that's how no coding in the programming purposes, only software integration is happening. You will be surprised to note that almost 4 or 5 decades we have been, since 4 or 5 decades we have been teaching software engineering. But when you interact to industry professional, they says that, sir, you people are mistaken. Aap change nahi kar rahe. Then I ask him what change you expect. They say that software engineering is no more a discipline. Software integration is a discipline. And for software engineering, you have to change it to component-based software engineering, CBSE, component-based software engineering. So you only teach to students to develop components and fully interoperable components, fully compatible components, fully portable from one platform to another platform. That kind of component we are expecting. And those components will be available in digital libraries. If in open domain, maybe freely. If under proprietary domain, may be paid. And next discipline in software domain will be software integration, where these fully interoperable, fully portable components will be downloaded from different service provider, and will write a 4-line coordinating module to compose them together and to ensure that one software is available. Exactly, friends, in the same way in which the hardware industry was functioning since almost last 25-30 years. Earlier, you might have seen, if you go back 30-40 years, for every device there was a specialized hardware. But now you purchase hardware, any hardware component of any of the manufacturer, and that works fine with your another hardware, with your another device. Because interoperability issue, portability issue, because compatibility issue, because finally the standardization has come and all those issues have been taken care. So can we do in the same way that a component developed by Sun Microsystem, another component developed by Microsoft, third component developed by some other Indian company, maybe TCS, Infosys, maybe HCL, all those components are available on the web domain, and now the people will keep on downloading different components of their choice from different domain, and then integrate in just 4-line coordinating module, and can it work together? That's the kind of environment, and that's how they say that software engineering, which was considered by all philosophers and all authors in the world, all researchers in the world, is a labor-intensive work, is a human-intensive work, is now being said that can we have programming without coding, programming and no coding, because the components will only get integrated. So that's the kind of future going to come up, and that is the takeaway from this particular slide. Am I audible to all of you, and are you getting it? Can you confirm it in the chat window before I move forward? Oh yes, good. So friends, in fact, the change which I was trying, thank you. The change I was trying to force to see people to sensitize people to foresee was expected 5 years later. That change has started coming much earlier. And in order to do that, the entire focus from teaching is now shifting to learning. Instead of a teacher going to a class and teaching everything, now the teacher has to believe that the student have to learn. I need not to teach anything. I have to be a facilitator, and that's how I said the teachers of 21st century will only be a facilitator, will only be a coordinator, will only look to how to inspire students, will ensure that I provide such a platform to my learner, wherefrom he learns much more, come back to me and enlighten me also. That environment I am expecting. And whether we teachers are ready or not, India has shown that we teachers are ready, but students of this generation is already ready. So we have to live in the same ecosystem in which the 21st century students are. In only that ecosystem we all have to be. And that's how I will show you a quick video here, and then we'll move forward. That 21st attributes of 21st century students, to which we have to tap, to which we have to understand, and we have to see that can we do that. Will anyone confirm whether this is visible? Will anyone confirm? Video is visible? At this moment, mini window is visible. Will someone confirm mini window is visible?
Sir, it is coming, sir.
It is
It will
coming.
take, I think.
Okay. So I will make it full. But many of them are writing wrong.
Not visible, sir.
It is coming to you, Vishal?
No, sir.
No.
No, sir, please share. Click on share screen.
Okay, just a minute. Oh, sorry. Let me share a screen. Huh?
Yes, sir.
Share. I think now people will see. Huh?
Mini screen is coming, sir, now.
Just a minute. Can you now confirm? Is it visible to you? I will start from the
Visible,
beginning.
sir. Visible, sir.
So I will start from the beginning.
Yes, sir.
I'm also learning in the process. Huh?
Yes, sir.
Those who are not able to get audio, maybe because of net problem, I will share the link of the video. Don't worry. So friend, the message out of this video was that as a teacher, we are not supposed to restrict ourselves as a tutor. Rather, we have to become a facilitator. And second message out of this video was that in 21st century, the definition of learning is changing, and the new definition is learn, unlearn, and relearn. And all of you will agree that in last 20-25 years, you have seen multiple form of learning, unlearning, and relearning. That's the message out of the video. Those who could not get the audio will share the video, and then you can play at later stage. So moving forward. Now the co-evolution of research with business, co-evolution of the teaching learning model based on the requirement of the job, and then finally the business for the business companies, for the IT companies. Any and every work prior to 1980 was not considered as a profession. Look, there is a difference between profession and personal activity. Profession implies that whatever you are doing for some client, and then you have to follow some process, some rules, some regulations, some quality parameters. It's not your personal activity, it's a professional activity, and you will be paid for it. But a personal implies that I'm doing for my own purpose, I'm doing for my own requirement, I'm doing for my own need, and I know my need better, so I may even customize the way I want it. I may not need to follow any standard. And that's how I keep claiming people that when you are doing a personal activity, I have no question. But when you are doing a professional activity, and then if you keep applying all your personal interest in that, and then keep forgetting the standards available in the market, then I have a big question. And that's how I say that if I'm driving car and I have gone to some place and parked my car, and the moment I have parked wrongly, so the moment someone will see that I have parked my car wrongly and he is behind me to park the car, he will immediately tell me, "Oh driver, गाड़ी ठीक से park करना. Oh driver, please park your vehicle properly." Will I like the sentence if I am driving my own car, I have gone to my office, park car in the parking, and someone tell me, "Oh driver, park your car properly." Would I like that statement? Someone may confirm me in the chat window. Would I like that statement? I will definitely not like that statement. But imagine the situation. If you have had a driver, and the driver was driving the car, and the moment he came in a parking, he parked the car in the same way, and I'm standing there. I'm driving my car and I'm standing there, and I want to tell him that you parked vehicle properly. How would I call him? I do not know his name also. I have no option but to tell him, "Oh driver, suno, listen, you park your car properly." Is it or not? Is it or not? Confirm me in the chat window. Yes. So the difference here is, in my case, I didn't like it, but in other case, I also like it and he also liked it, because it is his profession. And no one mind if someone tells me a teacher, because teaching is my profession. And if I'm telling something, people will say, "Don't teach me." Then I don't dislike it, because teaching is my profession. Driving was not my profession, so I didn't like it. That's the difference, and that's where the difference in personal activity and professional activity will come. So you must understand that any activity in software domain, in CS and IT domain, prior to 1980 was considered as a personal activity. Maybe a researcher is doing, maybe a scientist is doing, maybe some business company for their own business need they are doing. They were not doing it for customer. From 1980 onwards, they started doing professional work, and that's how all these models, standards, guidelines, quality parameters started coming. Now, having told you this, from 1980 to 1990 was the first decade of the professional business in CS and IT. When I'm talking of a first decade of professional business in CS and IT, at that moment it was important, do we know coding? I've just sensitized you that we need programming, but we don't want now coding, because can we have software without coding? But at that moment of 1980, we didn't have that much advanced technologies. So we needed at this moment only programmers. Programmers means what? Coders. Do you know C? Do you know BASIC? Do you know COBOL? That is a kind of environment from for first initial 1 decade. Then came the second decade from 1990 to 2000. When we came in the second decade, we started focusing. We have enough coders. We have enough programmers for C. We have enough programmer for C++. Now we have even programmer for initial versions of Java. But can we have engineers? Believe me, the designations in the companies in the from 1980 to 90, that was a domain prior to us. We came into IT industry from 90 onwards. So prior to us, the designations were programmers, designations were coders. But from 1990, designations changed. Software engineers, assistant software engineer, senior software engineer, deputy software engineer, junior software engineer, project managers, etc. And then the basic question which comes here, what is the difference between the programming to software engineering? Friends, as long as it is in a small project, the basic technique of knowing syntax, grammars and writing a program for some basic need, for some requirement of the customer is sufficient. But imagine a big problem, a big project is coming. The project is as good as the Amazon. The project is as good as weather forecasting. The project is as good as controlling your entire aircraft with the help of software system. The project is as good as controlling your missile defense system with the software, controlling your laser guided missiles with the software system. Do you think that only programming skill will become sufficient to do all these kind of things? Yes, no, please convert me. Do you think just programming a skill will be sufficient to deal with such kind of complex problems? No, my friend. These are complex problems which I have mentioned. When it is not, then the industry said that the programming is of course needed, but now we need engineers. And what we have to do, whatever industry projects us, whatever industry tells us, whatever is the trend in the industry, we teachers, we institutions, we academicians have no option but to see to it that we keep a right balance in our curriculum, right from theory, right from concepts, right from fundamentals to the practice which are required to the company, to the practice which are required to the business organizations. Because unless we keep this balance, there will be a huge gap between theory and practice. So second decade came of software engineers, and accordingly the designations started being given. And at this moment of time, let me tell you that when we are talking of software engineering and project management, it's not only software engineering and project management. Software engineering also talks about what is the probability of working this product fine, and for for how many years, because we have seen this concept that for how many years this project will work as it is, and after how many years it will work with a degraded performance like human being. We tend to lower our performance. We tend to have lesser performance with respect to age. I can't perform in the age of 60, which I can perform in the age of 50. And I can't perform, exceptions are there, but I cannot perform at the age of 50, which I could have performed at the age of 30. This is known as aging problem. So software is also no exception to this aging problem. So a new domain, many of the teachers and many of the researchers are there in the participant. So I wanted to sensitize you that within software engineering, what traditional concept you study from Pressman, from Professor K.K. Agarwal and Yogesh Singh, from Somerville, from Pankaj Jalote, from many other authors. In addition to that, there is an important concept and a big research is going on. IBM has already funded a chair to which Dr. Kishore Trivedi has been the chair of that professor of that chair for almost 20 years. If you search on Google, it will tell you software aging and rejuvenation. That my software after 10 years, after 20 years will age out. So I have to rejuvenate my software. So you need to keep right kind of modules, right kind of techniques, right kind of practices to rejuvenate it. And the simplest example, a very crude example, is the Windows 95, 97, even till 2000. We needed to shut down machines. We needed to check that there are multiple temporary files which are consuming my memory, and we needed to delete those temporary files so that the performance will enhance. Even such kind of activities are needed in many of the softwares today. Also, it's a manual way of dealing with aging, manual way of dealing with rejuvenation problem. And a big example of this software aging and rejuvenation was that when in United States of America, United States, the US started fighting first Gulf War, and they realized that many of the targets were hit by Scud missiles. Their patriotic missiles, etc., the patriotic missile of the Iraq was in a position to disguise the Scud missiles of United States of America. Later, the problem was given to the IBM, and IBM started conducting research. And then IBM came to know that this hitting target was an outcome of software aging, and that's how important software aging is. Now, will not speak more. I can take entire lecture on this. So we'll move forward to the third decade. And the third decade, 2000 to 2010, came of domain expertise and relationship. And with this domain expertise and relationship management, we have seen the emergence of so much of courses, so much of program, so much of curriculum in the entire academic system. Now you see BTech in e-commerce. You have started seeing BTech in IT. It was only BTech electrical engineering. Then came BTech electrical and electronics. Then came BTech computer science. Until then it was okay, but then came BTech IT, then came BTech software engineering, then started coming BTech ERP, and you see at UG level programs like UG undergraduate program in retail management, undergraduate program in hospitality industry, undergraduate program for the telecom sector. These all are the outcome of the concept given by the industry, domain expertise and relationship management. Industry coined that we have enough programmers, we have good number of project managers and engineers also. Can we appreciate domain specialization? What's happening at that moment that if a software, if a BTech guy in computer science was asked to work on a business project of banking industry, it's a commerce domain project. So the BTech guy in software, maybe in computer science or electronics, was not appreciating this. So industry said that let's appreciate domain expertise, and that's how we people, academic people, started teaching sub-subject in our day-to-day curriculum. That was the third decade, and accordingly the designations started changing. Domain evangelist, telecom, evangelist banking, that kind of designations started coming. This is the fourth decade which we are, and the decade is going to end by the 2020. This fourth decade is 2010 to 2020, and this decade is a decade of consulting skills. Foreign languages, of course, all of you know that. I may have a customer from Japan. I'm working in a team, maybe with TCS, and I have a customer from Japan, so I need to interact with them maybe in Japanese. I have a customer from Russia. I need to speak in Russia. Now I might be having a customer which has become very critical in today's time from China. So I may need to speak Chinese, etc., etc. Fortunately, English is such language which somehow or other overcome all these problems. But nonetheless, Chinese will not talk to you in English if they have an upper edge. They would like you to talk in Chinese. That's how foreign language I have added there. But more important is consulting skill. And will any one of you write in the chat window what is the consulting skill, and how an engineer, how a scientist, how the technocrat, I am telling him to be a consultant who has started his career, or for whom the entire course started. Was population, will someone write in the window what's skill I'm doing for my personal work, it's personal activity, or I'm doing for the professional work, or it's my professional activity. The moment I'm doing a professional work, I'm a consultant to my client. Right or wrong, will someone confirm in the chat window? That right or wrong, the moment I'm doing for anyone, for my client, for as a professional work, it's my consultancy. As a teacher, I'm teaching subject to my students, it's my consultancy. And the moment it's a consultancy, the moment it is a consultancy or professional service to some customer. So my students are my customers, and that's how I keep talking in my keynote to different conferences across the country, that under this changing ecosystem, we as institutions have to work as an enterprise, and we have no option but to consider our students as a customer. It is the only industry where students come to an institution and pay money and wait for the services. No other industry, the service provider is so proud. No other industry, the service provider takes that much pride that the customer will come to my doorstep and will keep on waiting for my service. So that's how important it is that we need to understand the consumer of the services as my customers. And the moment I accept this, that I have to take care of my customer, the next question comes to my mind. I have to look to the problem of my customer from the eye and from the mind of my customer. मुझे अपनी प्रॉब्लम, अपने कस्टमर की प्रॉब्लम को कस्टमर की आंखों से देखना होगा. और अगर आप ये नहीं समझ रहे, if you are not understanding this, then please understand. I say another example. I went to a salon and asked him to cut my hair, and he asked me how much to cut. I said, cut, make it small. And the moment there was no mirror, and after he finished, and then I asked him to give me some small mirror to see it. That used to happen in maybe 40 years ago when we were in villages, right? There was no mirror. We can't sit in front of mirror and get haircut. So after he finished cutting, and then I saw the mirror, I started scolding him. This is what you have cut it. You have just finished all my hair. I asked you just to make it short, make it small. इसका मतलब थोड़ी है कि आप पूरा ही बाल काट दिया आपने. उसने कहा सर आपने ये नहीं डिफाइन किया कि बिल्कुल ही छोटा करना है या मीडियम करना है या बड़ा करना है या आधे इंच कट करना है या 2 इंच कट करना है. This implies there was a problem in giving requirement and there was a problem in understanding this requirement by the service provider. So customer was also little wrong and service provider was also little wrong. And when both of them were wrong, the product which came was also not acceptable. And another example I would like to give here with this, that while giving requirement, we must ensure that customers' requirements are unambiguous. But please believe me that we can't force customer to give you unambiguous requirement, because customer is not. I can't force my student, my learner, to ask me questions which are highly unambiguous. Questions are questions. Questions students will ask me because they are my customer. It is up to me to first disambiguate it. Tell him if I am right, this is your question, and then this is the answer. So I can't force my customer to give unambiguous requirement. It was a mistake of that salon, that barber, who didn't ask me, sir, aapne chota kaha hai? You asked me a small. How a small? How much inch you want cutting? What kind of cutting you want? Or otherwise, it is obligatory on his part to show me some samples. Okay, these are the samples. Select out of these samples which one you want. And that's how I keep on sharing this lovely story. And the story is that it is from a movie. Now you have to remember which movie it is. It is of all of us our age, 20 years plus ago, 2 decades old movie. That Anil Kapoor was working as a taxi driver in a farm, and taxi driver driving Kalipuri taxi from in Mumbai city. So one fine day, daughter of the owner of the taxi firm, daughter of that businessman, was coming from the US after completion of her education. So the owner asked to the Anil Kapoor, go to the airport, today you have a very special job, my daughter is coming and you have to bring him home and see to it that drive properly, right? She's coming from US, she should not complain what kind of driver I have kept. This much sentence was sufficient for Anil Kapoor as a taxi driver. He thought it's a golden opportunity for me. Today I will drive so nicely that the customer, the daughter of the owner, will be so happy that she will recommend enhancement in my salary to father, and I will also have friendship. So he went fully prepared. He cleaned his vehicles and went fully prepared to the airport. When the man came, the actress came. He asked the actress to sit at the back seat. Actress was at the back seat, and then he planned that Mumbai city, like Delhi, is also full of crowd. Let me do today complete lane driving, no zigzag, no rash driving. And then the moment he decided this, his speed could not increase from 20-25 km per hour. Customer sitting at the back seat, he was trying, look, service provider was trying to provide the best possible services to the customer. But customer sitting at the back seat, after waiting for 4, 5, 6 km, when she saw that he is not increasing the speed, so she asked to the driver, क्या तुम बैलगाड़ी चला रहे हो? Are you running bullock cart? Or my friends who don't know Hindi, So क्या तुम बैलगाड़ी चला रहे हो? It was a big shock to the service provider. Service provider who was determined, who was committed to provide best possible services today, now has got that kind of feedback that क्या तुम बैलगाड़ी चला रहे हो? Are you driving a black cart? He thought, oh, my customer want a much faster driving, and I can do that. I keep on doing every day, so I will drive now fast. He accelerated the car, and the moment he accelerated the car, whether it is Delhi, Mumbai, or even now in today's time a small city, you know what happened? No people follow lane driving, no lane is free, so much of traffic on the road. The moment he accelerated his car, he has to do zigzag. This is driving, and he was about to hit to someone. He could not. He could save, but he was about to hit to someone, and then the customer sitting at the back seat started realizing now he will lead to he will commit an accident. She started shouting that stop it, stop it, stop it. And the moment Daniel Kapoor took a left, took the side and stopped the car, then she got out of the car saying, क्या तुम पहले कभी aircraft चलाते थे? Were you running aircraft earlier? That is a kind of feedback where the service provider was wrong. In fact, service provider could not understand or could not convince the customer to be at the same plate, at the same platform, and understand the ecosystem, that under the ecosystem, not United States of America, where you can run even car 200 kilometers per hour to 120 mile per hour. You can't do that in India because the roads are not made according to that. Traffic is not a steep line according to that. These were some such input which were supposed to be given to the customer upfront, and then take the customer along with the service provider and make him to agree with the protocol, make him to agree with the prevailing ecosystem, and then move forward. This was the only mistake. Otherwise, the service provider was fully committed to provide the best possible services. So what message I wanted to give here, that while understanding the consultancy skill, first is look at the problem of the customer from the eye, from the mind of the customer. Then only you start finding solution first. And the second important aspect is, if customer is under some ambiguity, under some uncertainty, then first try to understand, then you and the customer are at the same platform. If you work at a different platform and customer is at a different platform, then taking them together will be a difficult challenge. This we have to practice in our classroom. This we have to practice with our students, so that when students go in the industry, they do not face such kind of problem. And we'll stop this discussion here. We'll move forward. Next important aspect is, what is the present state of art in the industry at this moment with the students who are going to the industry. What has happened to my slide? Oh, yes. So next slide has got 6 figures. In fact, next 2 slides have got 6 figures. These 6 figures, I will try to make you to understand that the freshers, the young graduates who join the corporate organizations, what are their performance there? What kind of problem they are, what kind of product or services they are developing, and in which way they are not meeting the expectation of the employer. So the first slide says that what the user asks for. Now, I have been talking since last 20 minutes on this, that the moment my user and customer at this moment of time, I will be using interchangeably for the purpose of simplicity, yet there can be differences between user and customer. So at this moment, I am making to understand user and customers are same. So what the customer asked for? Customer ne bataya, customer asked few people to come into his house and saw a big tree. And the moment this service provider saw a big tree, then the customer asked him to make a roller coaster so that both of the couple can use that roller coaster during free time. And then this was the requirement of the customer. And the people, our students, the professionals who have been taught by us, who went to the customer side, saw this tree and they started conceiving this idea, conceived the idea in this way, that he wants a jhula, in this way that there should be one rope. Now tell me in the chat window, can a 70+ couple use this roller coaster to in the garden on his tree for their requirement? Can he use? He can't use it. Only maybe his grandson can use it, or some monkey can use it. Ideally, there is some ambiguity in the requirement. So the ambiguity was not cleared, And the professional who went at the site of the customer understood this is the requirement of the customer, and then understand that he started talking to the analysis team. There is a team who went at the site of the customer for the purpose of recording the requirement of the customer. What we teachers do as problem formulation, then next step comes up. What is to be done for the problem means analysis. Then he asked to the team working for analysis purpose to, this is the problem, develop analysis now. And you know, for analysis team was also taught by us. So analysis team applied the mind, this roller coaster cannot be of one rope. There must be two ropes. But what he did, he cut the branch of the tree from one side and saw that this one rope will be on another tree and one rope will be on this tree, and the branch was cut. This was the outcome of the analysis team. Again, not correct, right? And then after analysis, problem formulation has been done. Analysis has been done. Then the next question is how it is to be done. It means designer, the design team. Those design team were also taught by us. So designers came forward. They said, no. This team who went at the site of the customer to take requirement didn't take requirement properly. The team went, who did analysis also didn't do correct analysis. I'm more intelligent. I have very sound experience. So let me design it properly. He didn't cut the tree, but designed with 3 ropes so that it should be more stable. And more stable implies separate both the partners. Though the partner should sit on the roller coaster with stability. To some extent, he was right, but he was not right because customer wanted only 2-rope roller coaster, not 3-rope roller coaster. And at none of the time during this incomplete phase of conducting this entire development process, the template or the model was shown to the customer. Customer was not shown that what kind of product I am developing. Now, who comes after designer? The programmer, the coder, who will hard code it and finally will develop this product. So he came. Or maybe if it is a mechanical engineering project, maybe a kind of a fabricator who will come forward. So fabricator started, or my programmer started writing programs, and you imagine, was this the project? Will someone confirm me? Was this the project? Was this the work? And whether this kind of work a customer will accept, that he cut the tree, kept one rope, and established some other kind of pillars, and then connected the roller coaster with that kind of pillar. What that required? No, not at all. This was not required. Next 2 figures, friends, next 2 simulated figures will tell you that what actually was the requirement of the customer, and what actually worked at the site of the customer. Because after programming, programmers do not go on the site of the customer to put system into installation. It is the installation team. It is the team who is ready to go to the site of the customer and put system into working condition. It's different team. And you might have seen that when you gave some project to your student and a student didn't do it properly, come back and the moment he does presentation, you ask him, this is what you have done it. And then students get very unhappy and they ask you, ma'am, sir, give me 5-10 minutes. I will do something and will come back to you. He goes there, start doing parameter tuning, start doing some comments line, start writing some extra code, and then recompile and come back and says, ma'am, this is now working according to your requirement. Exactly same happens when installation team goes to put the system into operation at the site of the customer. So this was actually the roller coaster required to the customer. Will someone confirm? Visible to all of you? This was actually what really user wanted. As against this, now it is clearly defined. But in this slide, it was not defined. It was ambiguous. And we technologists didn't try to give a template to my customer that I understood this. Is this your requirement? Customer would have immediately reacted and said, no, this is not my requirement. My requirement is this. And then entire problem would have been solved there. So template was not given, or prototype was not given. And actually, you know, this was the system which was coded, and this coded system at the site of the customer when installation team went is working in this way. Now this is the system which is working in this way, where in which entire tree has been cut. This much innovation has been done which was not required at all by the installation team who went at the site of the customer, And when customer started scolding him, and then he has started doing some parameter tuning and landed up with this situation, do you expect that this product, this last product, customer will accept and make you payment? Will someone confirm me in the chat window? Do you expect that customer will accept? If you are customer, I am customer, will we accept this? No. And then this implies the industry will suffer. And who are doing this? Our students, the people who are produced by us. And that's how, friends, those who have studied software engineering, or who are teaching software engineering, or who are involved in the domain of software engineering, still the subject is alive, still the subject is open, and the topic is known as software crisis. 50-60 सालों के बाद, even after 5 to 6 decades, we still teach software crisis. Why are we teaching software crisis? We are teaching because of this fact that we are not able to deliver the required product to the customer. Forget about overrunning cost, forget about overrunning schedule. That's the second aspect. And that's how I was talking about CMM. CMM says that can, as a professional, be ensured to deliver quality product. When I'm talking of quality, it talks about both the dimensions, internal and external dimensions. Quality means as required to the customer. As required to the customer means what is written inside the SRS, and what is not written is external dimension. What is written is internal dimension. Both the dimensions will be looked into. And can we as a professional, can we as a software engineer ensure to provide quality product to my customer within cost and within time? This survey, this simulated figures tell that no, we are not doing that. That is what is the job of the teachers, to inspire our students that these are the problems, and we must ensure that these problems have to be overcome with the help of teaching them in a way that the gap between the theory and the practice is being reduced. Now, next important philosophy which I wanted to tell to all of you, in fact, a message, very strong message. You might have observed that when you give a little analytical question, little twisted question in any of the exam, many of the students, not only UGA students, even PGA students, come back and tell you, ma'am, it is out of syllabus. Sir, it is out of syllabus. Sir, this was not taught in the class. Does this happen? Will someone confirm me in the chat window? Does this happen? Sometimes it's happened, you gave a little analytical question and learners asked you it is out of syllabus. Please be sure, we will MCQ test which we will be conducting, there will be nothing out of syllabus, right? So what we have to do, I will give you a quick example of this, that how to deal with this kind of situation when someone comes and tell you that it was out of syllabus. I'm part of many of the grievances committee of many of the university, even the moderation committee of many of the university. And when I get such kind of grievances from a UGA student, I remain little liberal in awarding them some marks, because UGA student abhi to 12 nahi karke aaye hain, soon after their 12th class they will learn. But when PGA student gives such kind of grievance, I remain very strict. And as in that board or in that grievance committee, I tell them, PGA student, as long as this question is within the domain of the subject, even if it is not explicitly written in the syllabus, as long as this question is within the domain of the subject, we will not give even a single extra marks to any student. That remain my stand. Why? I will tell you this example will tell you that say for example, that one of the speaker had today some problem and he went to the doctor. Might be the problem would have been a small or big. Now after the lecture, I will take his information from him. So it's a normal time, normal flu. There was a flu, so a patient went to the doctor, and doctor, after analyzing the patient, told to the patient, your case is quite complicated. Will someone tell me the chat window that not a normal patient, not a patient with little flu, maybe a patient with a complex problem, if goes to the doctor, will the doctor's response should be in such a way that your case is quite complicated, or doctor should tell them, no, not a big problem, I have given you a few medicines and you will be all right. But doctor said that your case is quite complicated. So the patient who went with a little problem, that now it's a psychological problem to the patient. Patient immediately asked to the doctor, why doctor, what happened to me? And then see the reply of the doctor, my dear friends. This is the answer of out of syllabus, right? The doctor replied, you got a disease from the chapter which I left as optional during my studies. And if this is the situation, and this situation might happen, this situation might come when we are talking of a choice-based credit system. This situation might come when we are talking of a flexible education system under Education 4.0. This situation might come that students may not study a subject and they need to practice that in the professional domain. Then we as a teacher have to inspire a student that these subjects are only to pass your degree, but these are not sufficient subjects to give you such kind of learning which will make you a complete professional and will help you to grow in your life, in your profession. So you need to understand that this is just a kind of bounding a scope to pass your examination, but this is not sufficient. So we need to understand, we need to imbibe this culture of lifelong learning amongst our students, at least at PG level, if not PG level. That is my message here, and that is the answer of out of question or out of syllabus and out of a scope. So let's not encourage this kind of environment at this PG level. Otherwise, this situation will keep on happening, my dear friends. Having spoken about a complete review of literature, this is what I have done: review of the ecosystem, review of the situation, review of what is happening in the industry, what is happening in the academia, what kind of professionals we are producing, what problems we are facing. Now come back to the position that what kind of people we want, what is an idealistic situation, what kind of professional we are interested for, what kind of professional we should produce, who should be acceptable to the industry. Again, this slide has been taken from one of the discussion of one of the big company, Infosys, and then I have added few points in that. And this says that I want professional with all these 10 qualities. And if you see these 10 qualities, the first 6 qualities are considered now as technical qualities. The lessons learned from the failed project, that whatever you did you learn lesson? Is the what Humphreys first principle, where you went wrong, if you do not know that, you can't improve. So where you went wrong, you take lesson of that and ensure that in next completion of the project, in next execution of a project, that problem should not occur. As a teacher, after completion of my every subject, I must introspect and understand where I went right, where I went wrong. Wherever I went wrong, I must decide that next time I will introduce these 2 things, and will see to it that next time the same mistakes should not occur. Because mistakes, if are repeated, is dangerous, is a disaster. Mistakes should never be repeated. New mistakes can keep on coming. Second and third, again, very important, ambiguity and uncertainty. We have seen examples. So we need professionals who should be in a capacity to disambiguate things, who should be in a position to take decision even during uncertain situations. And we need people who can deal with hard factors with soft factors. And we software people know polymorphism, that how to behave and when to behave, how to take multiple role in multiple situations, in different situations, how to behave differently in different situations. That is the message out of dealing with hard and soft factors. Then comes, of course, logic and mathematics. If you do not have any logic, then possibly visualizing solution, problem solving will never come. And unless we prepare people to solve problem, the purpose of education is not met. Why? I will tell you. You see, the UPSC examination, those who qualify UPSC examination, maybe for IAS cadre, for IPS cadre, it is said that they had done so much of hard work. Say, for example, to them, one of the subject was mathematics, and they started solving most complex problems of the mathematics so that they could clear UPSC examination. Do you think that after having so hard, after putting in so much of hard work in solving the most complex problems of mathematics or physics or maybe electrical engineering, when he will join in a district as a district magistrate or as an IAS officer, will he get this situation? Will he get this kind of problem that some college will come and tell him, sir, मेरे कॉलेज में 3 बच्चों ने ऐसा क्वेश्चन पूछा है, they have asked such questions to me that none of my teacher is able to solve this complex mathematics problem. Please come and solve that problem in the college or in my school. Do you expect this is expected out of a district magistrate for which he has solved the complex and toughest problem? No, my friend, this is not expected. What Why this much under tough condition he has been asked to behave? Because this will develop his logic. This will develop his problem solving capability. This will sharpen his mind. This will sharpen his capability of taking decision instantly in a complex situation which will come across, which will come before him. Exactly, this is the purpose of we teachers, that we should encourage a student to solve complex problems. Many other accreditation agencies, many other quality models will also tell you to solve complex engineering problems. The purpose of complex engineering, solving complex engineering problem, is to develop logic, sharpen mind, so that when a realistic situation, a disaster has occurred, some entire village is corona affected, COVID affected, there is a big panic. Now district magistrate and police officers, how to behave politely to calm down the situation. They have to take a quick decision. There is a big disaster, earthquake has come, and a huge panic has come up. Now how to control the situation? It's a huge right has taken place. How to control the situation? That kind of problem solving in day-to-day life will be needed by such people, and for that this kind of complex problems are being put. Next is abstraction, and all of you know abstraction highlight the representative qualities and forget leave behind the internal details. And that's how this assignment which we have prepared under assessment and evaluation for this workshop is to write abstract of the entire session, maybe of 2-hour session, in just 100 words, and that you will start practicing it. So we thought, let's not only talk abstraction, let's follow abstraction, let's follow practice, and let's involve participants to keep on writing and polish their skills, which otherwise they have. We are not friends. If you think we will be teaching you anything, we will not be teaching you 2 weeks anything. No teaching at all. Teaching to teachers is the most difficult task. We are only sensitizing you what is happening and how we have to change ourselves, how we have to synchronize ourselves with the changing ecosystem. And sixth is consulting paradigm. I have already spoken on consulting paradigm, will not speak now. Seventh, eighth, ninth, 10th, all these are considered now as interpersonal activities, the professional activities, or you may term it a bigger domain as a life skills. And the first amongst them is working alone and working in a team. And when I'm talking about working alone and working in a team, is a learn to live with diversity, teamwork. I have given a special name to teamwork, learn to live with diversity, because in our country, since last 7-8 years, a huge debate is going on this, learn to live with diversity. So purposefully, I have kept teamwork as renamed as learn to live with diversity. Friends, it is a prevailing situation that if I ask my 10 teachers to work in a particular team, 10 students to work in a particular team, they are not comfortable there because they are very diverse. And those who are comfortable, hats off to them. Friends, believe me, whether you are working in an institution or you are at home, everyone will not be in sync with you every time. There are bound to be heterogeneity in the life, whether in a personal life, whether in your society, in your colony, whether in your institution, at your workplace, there are bound to be heterogeneity. If this heterogeneity, diversity, you are paying attention for some purpose, for some objective, you are here. And in order to complete that objective, you have to leave behind this diversity, you have to leave behind these differences, you have to leave behind these factors which are differentiating each other, and focus on the purpose, focus on the objective. The teamwork will not. And when we are doing this, sometimes we have to sacrifice our interests, and we have to ensure that the activities which are required for the purpose of team sometimes doesn't suit to me. Still I have to accept it for the purpose of successful completion of the project. And that's how it is very important, because in our life, we will not get opportunity to select our seniors. We will not get opportunity to select even sometime our juniors. And forget about teammates. You might have across to many situations when your head of department, when your director asks you to 5 of you to work together, and if you ask, no sir, 3 people are okay, but rest 2 are not okay, so I will select 2 other members of my choice. And every time will he give you this option? Will someone confirm in the chat window? He will not. Sometime he may give you this option, but most of the time he will not give you this option. that you eliminate these two people from your team and select a person of your choice. So this says clearly we are not in a position to select even our own teammates. Forget about selecting seniors. You remain in an institution and keep on telling, I'm fed up with my director. He doesn't appreciate me anytime. Sometimes you tell, I'm fed up with my father. He doesn't. You ask any student, Beta, why are you not performing? He will tell you that I'm fed up with my mother. Because every time I go at home, she's so critical. He keep on scolding me. So I'm not able to keep my focus on my studies. So many examples I can give you, but will give you a quick example that when I ask my 10 students or 10 teachers to work in a one particular team, so immediately all of them say yes because they are together. But after maybe an hour and so, 7 of them, maybe a student or maybe teachers, come back to me and tell, sir, those three people who are not with us are of different wavelength, different thinking process. If you remove them from our team, these 7 are capable of doing all job and we will complete our task. You need not to worry. But along with them, we won't be in a position to work. And then as a head, as a teacher, as a director, if I ask them, no, I know that 7 people are capable of completing the entire work, but I have put them purposefully because I wanted you people to inspire those 3 fellow friends also, so that next time they should become active member, active contributor of the team. Then they start telling, no, sir, you have taught in the class that it is either 0 or 1. It is either low or high. You have also taught that intersection of 2 disjoint set is 5. I say, yes, it is true. What do you mean to say here? Sir, those 3 people are one group, one disjoint group. We are another disjoint group. Now you are working to intersect and work together. And intersection of 2 disjoint set is 5. So we won't be in a position to produce this quality because they think differently. I think we people think differently. And then I have no option but to give another example to them. And then I say, okay, you have spoken enough, given me enough logic from 4th generation computing environment, from mathematics. And now I ask you a situation, a girl being married, dulhan shadi ke waqt, while going to in-laws house, the doli, at the time of the doli, goes from Maike to Susral, rote jati hai, and we are proud of this rich Indian tradition. Is that a happy moment for her or is that a sad moment? Will someone confirm in the chat window? Is that a happy moment or sad moment? Dulhan going from Maike to Susral at the time of doli, whipping. Oh yes. I have got an intelligent participant, Dr. Satish Patel. A big round of applause for him. He said both. There is my answer, my friend. It is both. Mixed. Yeah, correct. Mixed. It is both. It is happy moment also to take charge of a new family. It is a sad moment also to depart for maybe for some time and to go away from that family where she has grown up for maybe 25, 20, 30 years. So both. Can you tell me a logic? Now can you tell me a logic? Keep writing in the chat window. Can you tell me a logic that will address this situation, which is both happy and sad, and that two together? My 4th generation computing logic, my Boolean algebra, my set theory, my digital logic is not in a position, my propositional logic is not in a position to address this situation when it is true both at a time. It is 1 also, it is 0 also, it is high also, it is low also, it is happy also, it is sad also. Can you write me a logic in the chat window that which logic I will have to apply here? There comes the limitation of my computing logic of 4th generation. And friends, there comes the 5th generation computing logic, and the logic is known as fuzzy logic. Yeah, emotions. The fuzzy logic is so beautiful that it allows situation to be hard, allows situation to be soft, allows situation to be hot, allows situation to be cold, and it allows to be happy and sad, that two together, because we are not plotting anything on a discrete scale. We are plotting everything on a fuzzy scale, and that's how the AI domain, the artificially intelligent computing environment, where different kind of techniques for soft computing are there, are basically a technique which doesn't plot anything on a discrete scale. It always plot everything on a fuzzy scale, and ensures that These Boolean algebra, this discrete mathematics, this propositional logic are no more applicable in AI domain. What is applicable in AI domain is predicate logic, your conceptual dependency, in which context you wanted to say this is. What is the context? For whom you are asking? For in-laws family you are asking, or for package you are asking? So the context is more important, and that's why contextual analysis is becoming a big domain now. And that's how it is said that even disjoint set can yield a member if you have intersection of two disjoint set. Mathematics says it is phi, but day-to-day life, real life, fuzzy logic says no, it is not always phi. It may give you some element even after the fact that two sets are disjoint and you are finding an intersection. And then I ask my students or my teachers to pay attention that Sida, Sadha, Dakiya, Jadu, Kare, Mahan. Sida, Sadha, Dakiya. See the situation which could not be addressed by digital logic is now being addressed by a fuzzy logic. How beautiful the poet has simulated. Sida, Sadha, Dakiya, Jadu, Kare, Mahan. एक ही थैले में भरे आंसू और मुस्कान. आंसू तो सैड है, मुस्कान हैप्पी है. So आंसू और मुस्कान, if they can coexist together in one bag, why can't we people together remain? And why can't we work on a one common project for which we all have come together? That is my message of teamwork. Next is, of course, those who are capable. Those who are capable become arrogant, develop ego. No arrogancy, no ego, because capability and ego, capability and arrogance which develop together has absolutely no place. Because if you are arrogant, then you are not capable. If you are egoistic, then you should not be capable, because your capability will be killed by your ego. Your capability will be killed by your arrogance. That you must keep in mind. And the next two important parameters of a true professional of a 21st century, true even human being of a 21st century, true citizens of 21st century, the next important is good and positive communication skill. It is said, my friends, that even a technically sound proposal, if not presented nicely, likely to get rejected, and a technically poor proposal, if presented nicely, likely to get accepted. How many of you agree with this? Right in the chat window. You might have observed in your institution, in your college, even at your home, that there is a murmuring always, that amongst the students also this murmuring remain, that if 55 of us go to a teacher for postponing our internal examination, it will not get postponed. Rather, some more syllabus will be added. But these five people, these 2 boys and 3 girls in my class, are so powerful. As and when they go to the teacher, as and when they go to the principal or to the director, they get what they wanted to get done. Even it works at home. Aapka beta hamesha, your son will always complain, Mama never appreciates me and never accept my point and my request. But my sister, what magic she has done, whenever she comes, it is always accepted. This murmuring keeps on happening. And this happens amongst our staff member also. Friends, the bottom line of that murmuring is that how are you going to present things? And I will give you a quick example. To support this philosophy that even a technically poor proposal, if presented nicely, likely to get accepted, that there were 5 school friends who went to a church for making prayer. Just before board exams, now board exams have been cancelled. And just before board exam, they went to a church for making prayer. They saw the church atmosphere very conducive, the way this FDP atmosphere is very conducive. I'm very happy you are interacting in the chat window, writing your feedback in the chat window. So they saw a very conducive environment, ecosystem in the church. So one of them discussed, in fact, with the other 4 friends, that next Sunday is in between our 2 papers and we won't be in a position to come to that Sunday to this church for making prayer. It's a very good church, and let's if we can spend 2 more hours, we'll have some additional prayer for that Sunday also. See the beauty of the planning of these young boys. And then every one of them agreed, yes, okay, we'll remain for 2-3 more hours here. It's a good environment. We are enjoying the prayer here. And then one of them, because 2 hours, then additional 2 hours. So the moment 3 hours or so have passed, one of them had a poor habit of smoking. He started smoking right in the prayer, right in the church in the prayer hall. Now, any one of you who have visited Lotus Temple or maybe any such place in the country where talking is not allowed, shouting is not allowed. You might have seen when the moment you start talking, the moment you start shouting, even in our classroom, if students start shouting, what do we do? We keep quiet. हम चुप हो जाते हैं. We first keep quiet and then ask a student, shh, चुप हो जाओ, चुप हो जाओ, चुप हो जाओ, चुप हो जाओ, चुप. No, talking is not allowed. Discussion is not allowed. The same happens in Lotus Temple. If you start shouting, some poor admin volunteer will come and will tell you, oh, shit, shit, shit. What are you talking? Shit, you're talking. Talking is not allowed. Get out and then talk outside. So the moment this boy started smoking, first another member of the same team, another boy asked him, don't smoke. Meanwhile, a person from the admin department came and said, oh shit, you are smoking here? Get out. Don't you see these many boards? In the church, almost all walls are full of boards that smoking is not allowed inside the church. And we teachers have only asked students to be inquisitive. So the moment the volunteer said this, the teacher replied, this student replied that, no, I will not follow these boards and I will not get out. This prerogative is only with we teachers, that we ask students to get out from the class. He has no option but to get out. But now today's generation will not listen to this sentence by anyone. Even parents, if asked to get out, he or she will ask, why should I? Why should I? But only teachers have got this prerogative. We should be proud of this profession, my dear friend. So the moment volunteer said, he replied that, no, I will not get out. Volunteer said, see, there are big boards, rules are made. Follow rules or you get out. Then boy replied, these rules are made on earth. Show me any rule of no smoking made in heaven. You made rule. I will not follow your rule. It might be you are coordinator of this church, but it's a place for prayer. It's God's place. I will not follow your rule. Show me any rule made in heaven. Now, it was a very difficult and unforeseen situation for the volunteer, but volunteer was robust enough, senior person. He replied, look, you have two options now. First option, get out. Second option, go to the father. He's sitting next door, bring permission. I have no objection. But unless you do any one of that, I will not allow you to stand here, even no more prayer, because now you are smelling. Boy replied, okay, I will go to the father. And you know, when a student has been asked to get out from a class, and if he wants to go to the principal room or HOD room, he will go in a very different body language, full of aggression. He went with the same aggression to the father. Didn't ask permission to enter in the room. Opened the door forcefully. Didn't ask permission to speak. Father was working on something, and he very loudly started asking, Father, can I smoke while making prayer? Father raised his head and replied, no, not at all. It's not permitted. Get out from here. Now this boy started realizing enough is enough. If I make further argument with the father, he will call security guard and will get me out. So let me stop myself and go back. He came back to the friends and asked the friends, now it is enough humiliation. Church people are very bad. Imagine, just before this he was telling that church is very good, conducive environment. We'll make prayer. Huh? And now the moment father has rejected the request, he came back and said church people are very bad. We'll ensure in our school that next time onwards from our school, no one come to this church, etc. Another friend of him, who was very good at his, very positive and good at communication, he said that I was asking you not to smoke, you started smoking. I was asking you, we have completed our prayer, let's go out, but you went to the father and got humiliated. Now all of you wait here, let me go to the father and bring permission for all of us. He went to the father. He was very positive, good at communication. The moment he went to the father, he took permission to enter. May I come in, sir, please? Father replied, yeah, come please, most welcome. He came. Then he asked permission, Father, can I have a seat? Yes, please sit. Then he asked to the father, Father, there is one question in my mind and I'm in a great dilemma. Can you help me to understand the answer? The father replied, yeah, my dear, I'm here to answer such queries. Please ask me. And then he asked a question to the father. Father, now now mind the difference between the two sentences. The first sentence of the first student and this new sentence of the next student. He asked to the question to the father, Father, can I make prayer while smoking? Oh, very intelligent boy. Same sentence, but one construct, can I smoke while making prayer? He has twisted the sentence, can I make prayer while smoking? Father replied, obviously, my dear, every moment of your time, every breath of your time, you must be busy in prayer. And the most quality time of your life is when you are busy in prayer. And then he replied politely, Father, since morning 9 a.m. we are here making prayer. One of my friend had a poor habit of smoking. He smoked in between. But volunteer from admin is now not allowing us to make any more prayer. He says that this boy is smelling and we are great devotees. We want to make some more prayer here. Father replied, oh yes, there is an exception. You go. I will ask volunteer to allow all of you to make prayer here. I can see your sincerity, seriousness and your devotion. So go and make prayer. And that's how a poet has beautifully simulated this situation and says that कौन सी बात कहाँ कैसे कही जाती, कौन सी बात कहाँ कैसे कही जाती है, ये हुनर हो तो हर बात सुनी जाती है. और ये मेरा एक्सप्लेनेशन था जो मैंने शुरुआत की थी फ्रेंड्स, कि even a technically poor proposal if presented nicely is likely to get accepted, and a technically sound proposal if not presented nicely likely to get rejected. ये ब्यूटी है अपने पॉजिटिव एंड कम्युनिकेशन स्किल की. मिसअंडरस्टैंडिंग कभी जनरेट नहीं होनी चाहिए. So those people who are from software background or management background, please go through knowledge pyramid. At the bottom of the pyramid there is a symbol, and at the top of the pyramid there is a wisdom. And if you do not get it, talk to me sometime. I will give you that detail. And the bottom is symbol. Symbol when process becomes data. Data when process becomes information. Information when process becomes knowledge. And knowledge when process becomes intelligence. We are now in intelligent domain, AI domain, artificially intelligent domain. And when intelligence is process becomes wisdom. जो मैंने आपको ये बात बताई, पॉजिटिव कम्युनिकेशन, गुड एंड पॉजिटिव कम्युनिकेशन, जो दो पंक्तियां आपको सुनाई हैं, वो सिंबल, डेटा, इंफॉर्मेशन, वहां तक वो नहीं है. वो शुरू होती है नॉलेज से, शुरू होती है नॉलेज पे, फिर इंटेलिजेंस और फिर विजडम. जहां नॉलेज इनेबल करना है कि कौन सी बात व्हिच मैटर, तो नॉलेज बताएगा कि कौन सी बात, कहां इंटेलिजेंस आपका बताएगा, और कैसे ये आपका विजडम बताएगा. तो जो नॉलेज पिरामिड एआई में पढ़ाया जाता है, इसके ऊपर के तीन, जैसे मैं ब्लूम टैक्सोनॉमी की बात कर रहा था, ये ऊपर पिरामिड का टॉप 3 आइटम आपकी लाइफ में बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट होने वाला है. इज गोइंग टू प्ले अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट रोल इन योर लाइफ. Please pay attention to this. This was the 9th quality of a 21st century professional, 21st century human being, I will say rather. If you are not able to communicate, you will get misunderstood at your home. मियाँ बीवी में झगड़े हो जाएंगे, बाप बेटे में झगड़े हो जाएगा. सिर्फ डिपार्टमेंट की बात नहीं है, बात आप अपने घर पे भी देखें कि कम्युनिकेशन इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. एंड द लास्ट इज क्वालिटी. Quality as a social responsibility. We would like to conclude on this. Quality is a very important parameter. Sometimes my head is very strong, my director is very strict, or when in a classroom students understand my teacher is very strict, so I have no option but to do myself. Otherwise copy paste will work. Friends, here the assignment which have been given to you, please do it yourself. You may submit a day later if you have some problem, but do not copy from anywhere. Please write in your own words. Otherwise, I am very strict teacher then. I am very liberal and very strict both at a time, because fuzzy, both are possible. Being liberal and being strict, both are possible. So if you are not writing on your own and you are copying somewhere, believe me, then I will make a system in which every one of you will have to write handwritten and submit it. So let's not do that. Judiciously, please write. I believe that my all teachers are very honest and will do it on their own. I was talking about quality. No, I should not bother who is looking the end result of my product. Who is looking at the end result of my product? Whether my director is strict, my teacher is strict, my HOD is strict, NBA team is coming, NAC team is coming, some ACPG software process improvement group has been formed, some IQAC sales person is coming, and somewhere under the problem is, and I have no option but to pay attention to the quality. No, my dear friends, you are mistaken if you are thinking in that way. There is a judge inside me, और मेरा जज मुझे शाबाशी देता है, मुझे पैट करता है. The judge inside me makes me to be happy when I do something good, do not do some dishonesty. And my judge inside me make me to be ashamed of my work when I do something wrong, when I do some dishonesty. So my judge should get satisfied. I will be developing quality for my own satisfaction, to satisfy my judge which is inside me. And मेरा जज अगर सेटिस्फाई नहीं होता तो एनबीए के रेगुलेशंस, नैक के रेगुलेशंस, यूजीसी के रेगुलेशंस, एआईसीटी के रेगुलेशंस, strictness of my director, strictness of my teacher as a student has got no meaning at all. So काम चोरी नहीं होनी चाहिए. बहुत टिपिकल इंडियन वर्ड में मैं कह रहा हूं कि हमें अपने क्वालिटी फैक्टर्स पे कंसीडर करना चाहिए. एंड इट इज सेड, ऑल क्वालिटी फिलोसोफर्स हैव एक्सेप्टेड दैट क्वालिटी वर्क्स गेट डन इन फर्स्ट अटेम्प्ट. मेंटेनेंस अगर करने बैठे आप तो वो क्वालिटी नहीं है. Quality work get done at first attempt. And we'll give you a quick example and we'll finish here. The example is, there was a teacher like me who has started his career in a medical college from lecturership, now assistant professorship, from lecturer to reader, from reader to professor, from professor to dean of some department of the medical college, and from that deanship to being the principal of that medical college. And by virtue of being the principal of the medical college, he became the chief superintendent of the hospital of that medical college. And then after remaining principals for a few years, he superannuated after completing his entire tenure of maybe close to 30-35 years of the services. But in his entire career, he didn't pay attention that the young students after completion of the 12th class who are joining my medical college, I should pay enough attention, maybe as a teacher, maybe as a professor, maybe as a dean of the faculty, maybe as a principal of the college. I should have good equipments. Equipments are there, but not being used in the hospital. I should have good services in the hospital so that the nearby people, nearby patients should come to my hospital, first should develop confidence because of the reputation, because of the quality of the treatment in the hospital, come to my hospital, and through that mechanism, these young students who have come up to my medical college to get their MBBS degree should get enough opportunity to treat those patients and transform themselves into a good doctor. He never paid attention to this philosophy, to this fundamental. And then on fine morning, every one of us have to face that fate. The man is mortal. On fine morning, he met a heart stroke. Family members admitted him in a nearby hospital, and then he realized that then doctors realized, in fact, that he needs to be operated immediately. He was brought into an operation theater, and before he was put into an unconscious state for the purpose of operation, he saw a team of doctors coming, headed by a young chap, young doctor, a smart boy. He started recalling his memories. Oh, this boy is known person to me. He recalled his memory and understood. Yeah. He's a student of my medical college of so and so batch, and he is head of that medical team who will operate upon me. He could not absorb second shock and expired before operation, because he knew that these students have themselves passed their MBBS degree and we didn't teach anything, and that student will operate upon me. He could not absorb second shock. Friends, whatever we are doing in life will come back to us directly or indirectly. If I'm not driving car properly on road, because of this act, someone will get hit, may not be near and dear to me, but many others will get tempted to drive car in the same way, and in that way someone will be hit, and out of those someone will be from my near and dear. So let's not do that. Let's ensure that there is a judge inside. That judge should get satisfied, and after completion of that work, I should be happy. Yes, I have done justice my job. And to us, benchmark should be myself. हमारे लिए अपना ही बेंचमार्क होगा, और हमें अपने बेंचमार्क को हमें खुद ही ट्रैवल करके बीट करके आगे बढ़ना होगा. इसी के साथ मैं आपसे कहना चाहता हूं कि जब हम ये काम करें एज ए टीचर, तो वी मस्ट बी पैशनेट एनफ. वी मस्ट इंश्योर दैट whatever I can do, I will do it. I will not leave any single stone unturned. And in the process, it might happen that I will go much ahead than what was expected. We started with one FDP program during Corona pandemic, but the kind of the encouragement we got from all over country, including abroad, In first 2 FDPs, you will not imagine 5+ participants who are from outside the country. We got so much of encouragement. We kept continuing the series, and we did not know when milestone came and milestone finished. Another milestone came and another milestone finished. पोएट कहता है माइलस्टोन को मील का पत्थर कहते हैं कि आप कोई माइलस्टोन पूरा कर लें, कोई बेंचमार्क ट्रैवल कर लें, तो वो मील का पत्थर है, वहां से आगे फिर आप बढ़ने की कोशिश करेंगे। तो बशीर बद्र बहुत बड़ा पोएट, अब मैंने पहले 2 पंक्तियां इनॉग्रेशन में आपको सुनाई है, उसकी एक बड़ी गजल है, आप ढूंढें अगर आपको लिटरेचर में इंटरेस्ट है तो। मैं इस पैशन के लिए, इस कमिटमेंट के लिए जो हम टीचर्स को अपने लिए, अपने प्रोफेशन के लिए, अपने कंट्री के लिए और अपने सिटीजनशिप के लिए रखनी है, इसके लिए मैं आपको बताता हूं कि बशीर बद्र ने जो पैशन डिफाइन किया है, वो पैशन ये है कि अपने जिंदगी का माइलस्टोन हमें खुद ही बनाना है, अपने प्रोसेस से, अपने एफर्ट से उस माइलस्टोन को खुद ही ट्रैवल करना है, और ट्रैवल करने के बाद हम रुकेंगे नहीं, रुकना हमारे जिंदगी का हिस्सा नहीं होना चाहिए, हम बढ़ते चले जाएं। Milestones will keep on coming and keep on getting traveled, and new milestones will keep on being framed automatically. So the poet says that आंखों में रहा, दिल में उतर कर नहीं देखा। आंखें ऊपर ऊपर की चीजें होती हैं, और दिल में अगर दिल की गहराई तक आप समझने की कोशिश करें तो आप इन डेप्थ समझ पाएंगे। तो हमें ऊपर ऊपर ऑन द फ्लाई काम करने से हम अच्छे ह्यूमन बीइंग नहीं बन सकते, हमें गहराई तक जाना है अपने माइलस्टोन्स को आगे बढ़ाने के लिए। तो पोएट कहता है आंखों में रहा, दिल में उतर कर नहीं देखा, कश्ती के मुसाफिर ने कभी समंदर नहीं देखा। कश्ती तो दरिया में चलती है, छोटी कश्ती समंदर में चल नहीं सकती। तो आपको जो मोती थे समंदर के अंदर वो मिला ही नहीं। द पर्ल्स व्हिच वर प्रेजेंट इन द ओशियन वी कुड नॉट गेट बिकॉज वी डिडंट ट्रैवल टू द ओशियन। तो पोएट कहता है कि आंखों में रहा, दिल में उतर कर नहीं देखा, कश्ती के मुसाफिर ने समंदर नहीं देखा, जब से चला हूं मंजिल पे, मेरे माइलस्टोन पे, जब से चला हूं मंजिल पे मेरी नजर है, राह में कभी मुड़कर मील का पत्थर नहीं देखा। थैंक यू सो मच फ्रेंड्स। आई थिंक आई हैव एग्जॉस्टेड टाइम, बट नॉनदलेस आप क्वेश्चंस पूछ सकते हैं। यू कैन अनम्यूट योर माइक and ask question for 10 minutes if you want, and those who do not want questions they can leave and prepare for next session. So thank you so much. I will end here, and those who want they can unmute and ask questions. And विशाल कोई important question अगर तुम्हारे पास है तो तुम भी बता सकते हो।
नहीं है सर क्वेश्चन, all are
so that I can pay attention to other screens. Yeah, please. Yes, please. Oh, no questions, please. Wonderful. कुछ लिखा है इसमें विशाल, कुछ क्वेश्चंस लिखा था?
सर क्वेश्चंस नहीं है सर, सर अप्रिसिएशन मैसेजेस है।
Good. Thank you so much, my dear friends. I thought that fortunately I got the first session, and this talk is only more relevant in first session. So I'm happy that first session somehow or other is a blessing in disguise that Dr. Shankar Goenka felt ill and he could not take the session, otherwise he could have taken. So normally we keep 1 or 2 speaker of the institute free, so that if any exigency comes like this, the speakers from our own home institution can take up the session. So wish you all the best. You can ask questions even later on my WhatsApp number. All of you have got my WhatsApp number. And now get ready for the next session, and then we'll interact more. Pay attention to the FDP, be proactive in participation so that you learn too much, and wish you all the best. Yeah, Dr. Vishal.
Thank you so much, sir, for highly motivated lecture. And I personally heard after 2 years, sir. Oh. After many times we thought that we will schedule the session. There will be any drawback or something left. So there was no missing session since last 2 years. So
no speaker gave that opportunity. Huh? Every
yes,
speaker took their lecture as per the schedule.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Anyway, thank you.
Yeah. Thank you so much, sir. Now I request to all the participants, we will have a next session on a Mendeley. That is a hands-on session by Dr. Ritika Vasan. So you are all requested to join back by 1:45 so that we can start the session at 2 o'clock. And I request you all to please join the session by using laptop or a desktop if you would like to do the hands-on on the Mendeley, because hands-on on mobile phone is not possible. So Mendeley is a reference management tool that is used to manage the references section of your thesis or the research papers. So please join back by 1:45 after having a wonderful lunch at your home. Once you will be in Delhi, your lunch is pending with us. Thank you so much.
So we can close this session and come back around 1:45.